You're listening to a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.
Welcome live from Worthen Arena, where we are getting set for this Tuesday's Mid-American Conference matchup between the Ball State Cardinals and the Eastern Michigan Eagles. Live from Worthen Arena, I'm Brayden, Carroll, Dylan Budd alongside, and Dylan, we have a fun matchup today. Two teams with the exact same record going at it, trying to get an edge in the MAC standings.
This is a really pivotal game in the MAC tournament. While Akron leads at 10-0, this is still a very wide open conference. Right now, Ball State is at the 6th spot with a 4-6 record, 11-12 overall, but so is EMU right at their heels at that 7th spot. Whoever wins this game will get the tiebreaker, and whoever wins this game with the tiebreaker gives them a much more pivotal spot in a potential MAC tournament appearance.
And you look at the last game for Ball State, out of conference, they go up against Southern Miss and get the job done. It was a tight one. They improved a lot from the Akron loss that was on the 4th. You know, you look at their 3 field goal percentage against Akron, 30%, 38% against Southern Miss. Free throws, 60% to 73%. Second chance points, that's the big one in my opinion. 5 points against Akron, 22 points against Southern Miss. They showed a lot of improvement in an out-of-conference game that they can really take now into MAC play.
One of the best things that Ball State has as a team is a short-term memory. They might have a tough loss against Akron, but they're able to turn it around, and a lot of times they have glaring needs and glaring problems that need to be improved. In the next game or the next 2 games, they do a great job of addressing exactly that and being able to turn it around and improve it. This team still has its flaws, especially with free throws, but there's a lot to be happy about as a Cardinal fan.
You mentioned free throws. One of the stats that, we do boards as announcers. You gotta create a spot chart. You gotta update stats. Well, one of my least favorite stats to update is this free throw stat. Ball State is 11th in free throws made in all of college basketball, 8th in free throws attempted, and then 286th in free throw percentage. This team has struggled at the line. They've gotten there plenty of times, but when the bulk of your free throw shooting comes from guys like Peyton Sparks, who just aren't the highest free throw percentage shooters, it's a problem when they don't hit them.
The leading free throw shooter on this team right now is Mickey Pearson Jr., who also, by the way, had a really great game against Southern Miss with a season-best 21 points. That being said, it leads the MAC. It's at 7th place in the MAC, for that percentage. And while that sounds like a bright spot on this team, everybody else has had consistent struggles. Jamari Hill is 1st in made free throws in the MAC, but he's only shooting 66% from the charity stripe. You have to dig a little bit deeper to see the flaws if you haven't watched this team, but when you see those advanced stats, you will see that this is a team that struggles, and especially with 4 wins of 4 or less points, those free throws are always going to be pivotal, and sometimes it's cost the Cardinals.
And Peyton Sparks may struggle from the free throw line, but overall, he hasn't struggled one bit. The February 3rd MAC Player of the Week, he had 46 points and 31 rebounds that week, and he has just been stunning this season on the floor, leading the team in rebounds, 12.9 points a game, 62% field goal shooting. He has been consistent. He has been a force to be reckoned with, and Eastern Michigan knows that.
It seemed like he had a really slow start to his second tenure here at Ball State. Obviously, he spent a year at IU, but Stan Heath said before the game that they are scheming around Peyton Sparks. He is one of the best players in the MAC, and he has to be contained. Now, Sparks is familiar with this Eagles roster. In 3 games against this team, he has 40 points as a Cardinal. So while the Cardinals might look for a big game from him, it seems apparent that the Eagles defense will be trying to shut him specifically down.
And we're going to take a break here on this SL Digital Men's Basketball pregame show presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, Pay-Per-Go toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
From Trivia Night at Brothers and Tater Tots at Roots.
Never miss a Ball State game with SportsLink Digital.
You're listening to a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.
Welcome back to Johnny Worthen Arena. We are 4 minutes away from tip-off of this Mid-American Conference matchup between the Ball State Cardinals and the Eastern Michigan Eagles. I'm Brayden, Carroll, Dylan, Bud. So happy to have you join us tonight for this matchup. Assuming you're on the road, ESPN Plus broadcast tonight. AJ Switek, Xander Woods, Griffin Leonard working that one. But if you're listening to just audio tonight, thanks for joining. We appreciate you joining us here. Now we talked about Ball State on the other side of the break. Let's get into Eastern Michigan. They're coming off of another game in that MAC Sunbelt Challenge. They knocked off Old Dominion 76-70 in a game where the Monarchs shot 95% from the charity stripe, and it still wasn't enough. Eastern Michigan's bench dominated, outscored Old Dominion's bench 34-10, and that was the difference.
Old Dominion did a really good job from shooting like this from the stripe, as you had said. Jalen Terry and Christian Henry, both starters on this Eagles squad, were pretty productive with 18 points and 13 points respectively. But the biggest star that we saw was Deshaun Nelson. He had 22 off the bench in a role where he's typically a starter. It seemed like they sat some of their starters early on against the Monarchs, but as good as the game that Old Dominion had, it just wasn't enough to come away with a win in another installment of the MAC SBC Challenge.
Deshaun Nelson, he has been such a force this season. He had 22 against Old Dominion. He's 22 away from 1,000 career points. He's likely to hit that tonight or in the next game against Toledo for Eastern. 15.7 points a game, leading the team in points and rebounds per outing. He is a guy from Toledo, from the great state of Ohio, who has been a nuisance to the Mid-American Conference ever since he joined here this season.
We talked about that Peyton Sparks is a MAC Player of the Week. There are other people in this Ball State squad like Jamari Hill that have won the honor. Wansi Gorosito has won that honor. Deshaun Nelson has won it 3 times this year. He's been incredible, and he's had such an explosive presence on this Eagles squad that has a tendency to play really fast, and a lot of that is because of Nelson. He is in 20 of his last games, 17 of them he's had double-digit totals. Obviously, he came off the bench, but he's just such a strong player. He's the big shot guy for this Eagles squad when they need him most.
Taking a look at the MAC standings overall, Ball State and Eastern Michigan are amidst a pile of 4 and 6 teams. 4 to be exact, Ball State, Central, Eastern, and Western Michigan all at that 4 and 6 spot between 6th place and 9th place. Top 3 still the same as it has been for a few weeks now. Akron 10-0, Miami 9-1, Toledo 8-2. There are some high-impact matchups tonight. This one, of course, breaks up that wave of 4 and 6 teams. Miami and Toledo play as 2 and 3 in the MAC. It's a fun Tuesday in the conference.
Absolutely. This is a very top-heavy conference. You mentioned Akron being 10-0, Miami, Ohio 9-1, Toledo at 8-2. But after that, there's a little bit of a drop-off. Yes, you have Ohio at 6-4, but nobody else is above 500. The other 7 teams in this conference, 3 of them, Ball State, Eastern Michigan, Central Michigan, 4 of them, Western Michigan in that mix as well, being 4 and 6. So to clear that up, it'll please the eye test for sure.
And the MAC tonight, we have some interesting games. Toledo versus Miami of Ohio. Central Kent State, that's another matchup between 2 teams in the middle, 4 and 6 and 5 and 5 respectively. Western Michigan Akron Toledo versus Bowling Green, and Buffalo against NIU. We'll keep you updated on those games throughout this one, as well as some Indiana games going on around the state in general. Purdue, Michigan, IU, Michigan State, and Indiana State, Northern Iowa. It's a big Tuesday, and the epicenter is here in John Worthen Arena. Ball State, Eastern Michigan. Thank you for listening to this SL Digital pregame show presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. We'll take a break for the national anthem. On the other side, we'll have starting lineups, keys to the game, and tip-off. Don't go anywhere.
So just how big is the Mammoth Pizza at Mancino's? How about a big 24-inch round pizza loaded with all of your favorite toppings? Made to order just for you when you call 287-1300. The perfect size for the big game, the next game, or any event that demands not only the best, but the biggest pizza you can order. And Mancino's is ready anytime. Call, wait 10 to 15 minutes, then head to Mancino's for pickup. Man, is it good. When a large pizza isn't enough, you need at least one Mammoth from Mancino's.
Pepsi Zero Sugar has a new, better flavor. A Zero Sugar Cola has never tasted this good. But we don't expect you to take our word for it, so we're putting it to the test. Starting with me. My mouth is watering already, so I think we can skip the drum roll and get right to the main event. Cue the fireworks. We have an official best Zero Sugar ever. It's delicious, it's refreshing, and it's so good you'll need to try it for yourself. Trust me. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero never tasted so good. That's what I like.
Standards. High standards. That's what sets teams apart. It's also what sets us apart at Pridemark Construction. We're not alone in holding our standards high. Ball State University is among those who do. That's why we're proud to sponsor the Ball State Athlete of the Week. High standards in everyday performance is everything in sport, as well as business. Join us in our pursuit of excellence. Join Pridemark Construction for your next building project and in our support of Ball State University's Athlete of the Week.
8 Sports, plus live broadcasts right in your timeline.
Follow us at BSU SportsLink.
You're listening to a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.
Welcome live to Worthen Arena, where we are moments away from this MAC matchup between the Ball State Cardinals and the Eastern Michigan Eagles. I'm Brayden Carroll, your analyst tonight, Dylan Budd, alongside. We have a fun one tonight between 2, 4, and 6 squads in Mid-American Conference play. Let's get into the starting lineups for both of these teams. First, the visiting Eastern Michigan Eagles, they're headed by Deshaun Nelson, number 2, the senior forward, making his 41st start. Number 3, Jalen Terry in his 58th start. Number 30, Christian Henry, the junior guard, his 24th start. Number 33, John Chanu, the second, the big center, 6'11", in his second start of his career. And rounding the lineup out, number 44, Arne Osoynik in his 29th start for the Eagles. And then you look at Ball State. It's 1 through 5. Number 1, Jamari Hill, the junior guard, in his 24th start. Number 2, Ethan Britton Watts, the grad guard, 51st start, not to mention his birthday today, and he's getting his 1K ball for his 1,000th career point against Buffalo in the last matchup. Correction, Southern Miss in the last matchup. Number 4, Juanzi Gorosito, the junior forward, his 51st start, and the big center, 6'10", 265, number 5, Peyton Sparks, his 81st start. Dylan, this is going to be a fun one. 2 solid teams looking to get an edge in the Mid-American Conference and make their tournament presence felt as we head towards the deep stretch of MAC play. What are the keys tonight?
I'm really excited for this one. For Ball State, they have to be smart in their help defense. Eastern Michigan does a great job of playing fast and having guys spaced out on the floor. The problem is, for the Cardinals, they have great guys that can drive down, like Christian Henry and Deshaun Nelson, that can draw help for the Cardinals defense. They have to know their assignments and not just fly around on defense. They have to take advantage of their physicality. This is a very physical team. EMU likes to ice their screens as well. Generally, they have backside help, but that leaves whoever is rolling, whether that's Peyton Sparks or Ben Hendricks, likely against a forward and sometimes a guard. The Cardinals have to take advantage of that matchup, and as soon as that screen is made, get that ball out. They'll have to skip passes as well because EMU does a great job of pressuring and quickly trapping whoever the ball handler is. As for the Eastern Michigan Eagles, Stan Heath said it best. They have to stop Peyton Sparks. He has been the hot hand as of late for these Cardinals, and they have to provide backside help. That matchup against Sparks, against Hendricks, against even Zane Dowdy, like we said before, is going to be very pivotal for this contest. They like to get their offensive shooters open by setting a lot of down screens. Generally, Wansi Gorosito and Fat Hill, they have to know their assignments as well and stay on those guys and fight through those screens. The biggest thing for them is to play fast. Ball State struggled and gave away a lot of points in transition to the Southern Miss Eagles. They can't do that again on a team that plays very fast. Generally, this is a matchup of the Eastern Michigan speed versus the Ball State physicality, and it's going to be really fun to see which side, which aspect comes out on top at the end of it.
And you know, Eastern Michigan, they're in the bottom 300 defensively in many stats. Opposing points per game, opposing field goal percentage, opposing 3 field goal percentage, even opposing free throw percentage. Defense and defending that physicality is going to be a big deal. Ball State wearing the all whites with the red trim, red numbers. Eastern Michigan, the green jerseys, green shorts, white numbers, and white letters. And if you want a fun little stat, Ball State is 5-3 wearing white uniforms.
I like that matchup.
It's good odds if you're a Ball State fan. Worthen Arena is getting loud. Turning down for nothing as we await tip-off. This was scheduled for a 7:03 tip. I think the officials are waiting for that official time to come. Buzzer sounds, tip-off is getting ready. It's going to be Peyton Sparks versus John Chanou II. 6'11" versus 6'10". Sparks wins the tip-off, and Ball State will start with the basketball. Get the clock rolling. It's men's basketball here at Worthen Arena. Mickey Pearson Jr. straight away. Pass to Hill, right wing. Give to Mickey Pearson, top of the key. Correction, Peyton Sparks. Ethan Britton-Watts working the mid-range. Out to Mickey Pearson, left wing. Down to Sparks. Cross court, Wansi. Other end, goes inside. Spinning around on a pivot foot. Bounce pass to Sparks, tipped and stolen by Eastern Michigan. That's Chanou II getting his hand on the ball.
Great job to pressure Gorosito one-on-one before he could get that pass out to Sparks down low.
Christian Henry, top of the key. Pass to Osoynik. Now Terry and right back to the hands of Henry. Jalen Terry with it, left wing. Step back, 3 ball off the back of the iron. Bouncing far side and an offensive board. Down low, Osoynik has it. Step back, mid-range jumper. Near side, no good, and rebounded by Hill. Ball State across the timeline. Follows a Sparks screen, takes some contact. Moving around the near side. Mickey Pearson heaves it to Britton-Watts. Near corner, Sparks, near block. Doing some work on Chanou II. Double teamed. Tough shot, blocked by Chanou II. Osoynik corrals it, and that's a nice stop early for the Eagles.
A promising sign. Great job by Osoynik to get in for help as soon as he could on Sparks. And because of that, Sparks couldn't get the ball out and get a skip pass like this Cardinal offense wanted. If you want to stop Peyton Sparks, this is exactly how you do it.
We have an inbound underneath the basket for Eastern Michigan off of a mishandled pass off the hands of Mickey Pearson Jr., correctly his ankle. Inbound to Christian Henry, and he is around the left wing. Jalen Terry straight away. Moving in on Peyton Sparks. Feed to Chanou II, wasn't ready for it. Stolen by Gorosito, 2-on-2. Fast break slowed down as Wansi will reset. Britton-Watts, right wing. 18-18 on the clock, still zeros for both teams. Moves inside, open lane, and he gets it to go. Layup off the glass, it's 2-0 Ball State, 8:10 left in the first half.
The Cardinals have the worst turnover margin in the MAC, least amount of blocks per game and steals per game. For Gorosito to be able to swipe in and grab that, then Britton-Watts with the finish, is already, again, a promising sign that Ball State has been learning.
And Christian Henry responds on the other end, a tough layup over Peyton Sparks.
Henry's a guy that leads the team in three-point percentage, but he also has a great layup package. He's someone that can get downhill very quickly and has enough versatility to be able to get something no matter where he is down low.
Knotted up at 2. Britton-Watts has it. Gwanzi, left wing 3 off the back of the rim and out. Rebound goes to Jalen Terry in Eastern Michigan. Across the timeline, Brayden Watts guarding. Bounce pass to Nelson. We haven't called his name yet, and he is stolen. Jamari Hill, one-on-one fast break. Tough layup, good. Elevation and the finish. It is 4-2 Ball State, the first lead for the Cardinals, 7:13 to go.
There's so much that we could say about Jamari Hill. He brings a new level of speed and explosiveness to this offense in the same way Deshaun Nelson does for the Eagles.
Speaking of Nelson, he's fouled on the way to the rack. They'll call that on Mickey Pearson Jr. It will be the first free throw trip for Eastern Michigan. They shoot 71% on the season, 7th in the Mid-American Conference. Nelson himself shoots 75%. He was 6'11", 6 and 11 from the charity stripe against Old Dominion.
We're not even 3 minutes in, and we already see Jeremiah Hernandez getting ready to be subbed in. He and Ethan Britton Watts have been splitting reps as the starting shooting guard all season for these Cardinals.
First free throw, no good, and there's that substitution. Hernandez in, and for Eastern Michigan, Jalen Billingsley checks in for John Chanu II.
Fans are chanting tater tots. First free throw was missed. Second one was made. If that second one was missed, Roots Burger Bar would be giving fans free tater tots.
And that'll grant some boos from Cardinal Chaos. They wanted 2 misses there. 4-3 the score. Mickey Pearson straight away. Hernandez right wing. Doing some work at the top of the key. Tight defense from Osoynik. Mickey Pearson, bounce pass, Sparks, top of the key. Stuck on a pivot foot. Far side, now Britton Watts with it. Baseline. Give to Sparks, 2. He'll have to take a 3. No good. Wow.
Peyton Sparks was 100% from 3 coming into the season. Granted, it was 1 shot and 1 make, but now that 100 mark goes away. A tragic statistic that he probably wanted to have in his back pocket still. Unfortunately, not able to keep it.
Tragic for Ball State and tragic for Eastern as Jalen Terry turns the ball over in transition. So he'll go right back to the Cardinals, maybe give it back to Sparks, see if he can hit a 3 ball.
It's uncharacteristic of Jalen Terry. This is a guy that averages 36.7 minutes a game. Not only is that first on the Eagles, it's first in the MAC and 9th in the country.
Hill left wing 3, that was clean and crisp. 7-3, Ball State leads. Hill is up to 5 points with 16:06 left to go in the first half. Other end, Christian Henry, top of the key. Give to Osoynik, far arc. Bounce pass, leaves it for Nelson, straight away, now Terry. Step back, 3 over Britton Watts. Too strong, rebound Hill, Ball State has it. Cross the half-court line, straight away. Few dribble moves. Down low, Sparks corrals the pass with one hand, bounces to the other side, the block, and 1! Peyton Sparks, the young man, has the physicality to get it done despite the contact. And we have our first timeout, a media timeout. And on the other end, we will see Peyton Sparks at the free throw line. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, this presentation of Ball State men's basketball, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. Don't go anywhere.
Whether you're getting ready for the big game or getting ready for the workday, you always want to start with confidence. Cintas has the essential products and services to help businesses provide a clean, safe environment for their employees and customers. With routine restocking of essential cleaning, hygiene, and safety supplies, on-site cleaning, professional uniform laundering, and testing and inspection of fire equipment and systems. Give everyone the confidence they need to start their day. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
The Hampton Inn of Muncie is the official partner of Ball State Athletics. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. The Hampton Inn is one of Muncie's finest hotels. Come enjoy our free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and fresh Hampton beds waiting for you. Less than a mile away from Ball State campus. Don't forget to ask about our Ball State special. Search Hampton Inn of Muncie online at munciesuites.hamptonin.com. At munciesuites.hamptonin.com.
From the bell tower to your smartphone, anywhere in the world.
Never miss Ball State Sports with SportsLink Digital.
Welcome back to Worthen Arena. The score is Ball State 9, Eastern Michigan 3 with 15:38 to go in the first half. The Cardinals on a 5-0 run in the last 90 seconds, and they have been strong shooting, including Peyton Sparks, who on the other end of this timeout is going to the free throw line for an opportunity for an and one. I'm Brayden Carroll, Dylan Budd alongside, and Dylan, so far the story has been Ball State capitalizing on turnovers. They lead that category 7-0 over Eastern, and they're just showing physicality on defense and the ability to get it done on the other end.
We knew that they would be very physical coming into this game because it's something that the Eagles struggle with, and they make up for it with their speed. That being said, they've struggled mightily to generate turnovers. Some of these moves haven't necessarily been because of the Cardinals. It's just because they've been so instinctive and the Eagles have gotten in their own way. It seems like potentially they could be a little bit rattled coming into this. While Ball State is 4-6, they are third in the MAC in attendance, and this is a pretty good turnout for a Tuesday night. There's a lot of fans yelling and screaming. There's a pep band over here. There's a fan section over at Cardinal Chaos. Some schools are here for field trips, so there's a lot of screaming kids. That doesn't help when you're trying to shoot. So it could be a big, substantial thing for these Eagles, and the Cardinals have caught them off guard, and this is the Worthen effect that we've seen time and time again.
Eagles have missed 4 of their last 5 field goals. Now they're facing Ball State's opportunity to make this a 3-possession game if Sparks can hit this free throw. The foul was on Arne Osoynik, his first. Eastern Michigan has 2 so far through the first 4.5 minutes. Peyton Sparks, a 62% free throw shooter. He was perfect, 5 of 5 against Southern Miss in their last outing. And he makes that one. No problem for Peyton Sparks. He's up to 3 points, and the Cardinals lead 10-3 with 15:38 to go in the first.
And now he'll get a little bit of a breather. A lead is always important in a game, but especially one with the magnitude of this. It's probably a smart move to get Sparks out and give him a little bit of breathing space, and Ben Hendricks will come in.
Aaron's ball off a tipped pass by Ethan Britton Watts. Almost got it in time, but it heads to the opposite baseline. So it's effectively another inbound underneath the basket, the opposite basket for Eastern, as the shot clock sits at 20.
The Cardinals have done a great job of maintaining this pace with the Eagles, and they've been really good at jumping to the ball and flying around.
Jalen Terry, left wing, pass to Henry, top of the key. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Billingsley sets a screen, going inside, step back, mid-range jumper, good. Nice shot by Christian Henry, creating space. He has 4 points, and Ball State leads 10-5 with 15 to go in the first.
Henry's such a great all-around player. He's a guy that can run around the perimeter and get open for a 3. He's a guy that can get down low and generate a layup himself. But we see things like that because of his speed and his physicality. He can create opportunities for himself.
Pearson Jr., 3-ball, no good. Rebound Eastern. They move into their side offensively. Terry straight away. Pass. Nelson thought about a 3. Goes inside. Tough shot over Ben Hendricks. No good. And Hendrick gets the rebound.
With Nelson being so productive this year, going up against Ben Hendricks and Hendricks winning that matchup, that's another momentum drainer for this Eagles squad.
Jamari Hill, Ball State has it. Straight away. Bounce pass. Weaving through Ben Hendricks. Jamiah Hernandez, 3-ball. No good in the corner. Got his own board, tipped to Hendricks, out. Britton Watts, 3-ball left wing. No good, rattles around and out. Rebound Billingsley, Eastern, quick across the timeline. Christian Henry, right wing. Tight defense by Hernandez. The pass down to Nelson is fouled on by Jamari Hill. Had some arms around Deshaun Nelson's waist, like a prom picture. That's his first foul. Team second. Some substitutions here as Swansea Gorcito checks in, as well as Mason Jones. Checking out will be Ethan Britton Watts and Mickey Pearson Jr. And for Eastern Michigan, Deshaun Nelson hits the bench. Subbing in for him is Yusuf Jihad, brother of Bashir Jihad, by the way, who's having quite the season in Arizona State, averaging 12 a game.
Former Cardinal Bashir Jihad.
Former Cardinal. Matt Connection. Inbound for Eastern out of the foul, Christian Henry. Right wing, 15 on the shot clock. Sends Hendricks on his skates and misses the jumper. Opportunity for some momentum, failed on, and now Ball State has the other end. Hernandez, jam time! Moving from the far side to the rack. His first bucket, and Ball State leads 12-5 with 33-38 in the first quarter.
Jeremiah Hernandez is on milestone watch. With 4 more points, he will have reached 1,000 points in his career, and we've seen that with Sparks. We saw it with Mickey Pearson in pregame. Hopefully he can hit it tonight.
And Jalen Billingsley hits a shot down just outside the far block. 12-7, Eastern Michigan cuts it to 5 with 13:15 to go in the first. Gorosito at the Cardinal logo, setting the play. Passes to Mason Jones, now to Hernandez, who just had the highlight dunk. Give Hendricks straight away. Handoff, Hill, same spot, loses his footing, pass to Hendricks, gets a shot up and good over the head of Christian Henry down low.
How many times have we seen Hendricks make a finish with that left hand? It's patented by him at this point.
Leads the team in field goal percentage with 65% on the year, 14-7. Other end, Henry, tough shot, good. Rattles in, down in the restricted zone. He's up to 6 points for the Eagles. 14-9, Ball State leads with 12:36 to go. Hernandez, top of the key, pass Mason Jones, right wing. Over to Hill, same spot. Double team, now Hendricks, top of the key, back to Hill. 15 on the shot clock. Mason Jones just outside the restricted zone, spinning around, off the glass, no good. Rebound in the hands of Hernandez. Now he heads in. He is fouled. Correction, whistle is the ball goes out of bounds off of the hands of Eastern Michigan, specifically Dylan Tingler, the freshman who just checked in.
These past possessions for Ball State, while they haven't been able to put anything on the scoreboard, have gone really well. They've done exactly what they want to do, where as soon as help comes for the Eagles, they dish it out to somebody else that is now open because another player is drawn in.
Inbound, Hendricks off the glass, way too strong. Rebound, Jihad. Eastern has it. Other end, Terry. Chanu the second is back in the game for Jalen Billingsley. A whistle off ball. That's a foul on Ben Hendricks as he sends Deshaun Nelson, the star Eagle, to the ground. His first personal, team's third. It will be an inbound underneath the basket with 23 seconds on the shot clock for Eastern. Mason Jones, the sophomore, guarding the inbound. Deep inbound, gets it into Christian Henry as he'll basically reset as he crosses the timeline. Straight away, follows a couple screens. Moves in on Mason Jones, aiming for a tough shot, passes out instead to Nelson. Right wing, over Hendricks. Tries to feed a pass to Jihad, somehow corrals it and finishes. Threw the one paw out and managed to corral a tough pass. 2 points, the first basket.
It's a game of execution at this point. Henry was guarded by Hendricks, unable to bring it in, but the star power of Yusuf Jihad being able to bring that rebound in, offensive rebound, and get 2 points on the board with the putback is what the Eagles have to rely on. You have to rely on your stars, and Yusuf Jihad did a great job of contributing when he was needed.
And Hill is fouled in the restriction zone. Another Eagles player getting called for his first personal. That one's Dylan Tingler. Another media timeout. 11-24. Ball State leads by 1 possession, 14-11. Dylan, it seems like Eastern's starting to get a grip on this game. Those points off turnovers, they happened early, but they've kind of been diminished. Ball State hasn't had any since we last mentioned it during the last media timeout. And we're starting to see the stars do some work, specifically Christian Henry. Averages 15 points a game. He's got 6 right now for Eastern.
And we've talked about him before. He's done such a great job to completely revitalize this offense for the Eagles. He leads the MAC in scoring in conference play alone. He's 8th in assists per game and 10th for points per game around, like, total. And he has double digits in all but 4 games. It's a guy that does so well all around and does things on the back end too on defense that people don't really talk about. He does a great job with his speed and with his attributes, his size, to be able to shut down the person in front of him. He's only 6'3", small on a college basketball floor, but he's done a great job to be able to still shut down guys like Jamari Hill and Wanzi Gorosito on multiple possessions.
Christian Henry, a junior on this team, he comes from the Skill Factory. He didn't go and play high school ball, and then he enrolls in the JUCO Panola College, averaged 13.8 a game. He averaged 20 points in the NJCAA tournament, which is effectively JUCO tournament. Now he's here at Eastern Michigan. This is a team of a lot of transfers, by the way, Dylan. I mean, just to name a few from the starting lineup alone, Nelson comes from DePaul and Kilgore College. That's a JUCO. Jalen Terry comes from DePaul and Oregon. Christian Henry, Panola College. Osoynik, he's the only one who comes straight out of high school from Dream City Christian, Arizona. And then this is a mouthful. Shanu II, he comes from Old Dominion, Florida State College at Jacksonville, and the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. So this is a team of transfers, which is kind of what we expect in the NIL era, but they get it done.
Absolutely. We talk about the Eagles, but Ball State is in that mix as well. There are 29 total players between these two teams in this contest. 19 of them were not on their respective rosters last year. For the Eagles, it's 11 new faces. 65% of their point contributors from last year are gone. And it's substantial because in games like this down the stretch, that's when you really have to start developing a team identity. And Stan Heath has started to do a great job of doing that. He obviously has head coaching experience all across the country, and he's done a great job at every stop. But with so many transfers, not even just in the United States, but there's many international players as well. So coming from different cultures and different experiences, it makes it that much more difficult to generate a team identity. They've had 23 games to do so, and they're starting to do so at a high level, but it's going to be a struggle consistently for the rest of the year.
Hill at the line for 2 free throws, makes the first and the second. So the lead is 16-11 Ball State. Hill is up to 7 points, 11:24 to go in the first. Jalen Terry across the timeline for Eastern. Tosses to Nelson, and now Tingler left wing. Joey Hart, who checked in during the media timeout on defense. Now Nelson spins around down in the block, tipped, and turnover. Great defense by Mason Jones, getting his paw on the ball and forcing the turnover, as Deshaun Nelson arguing with the official that he wasn't the last one to touch it. His coach Stan Heath says, back off, play the game.
It's all in the family for Mason Jones. His dad played football at Notre Dame. Her mom did softball at IU. His brother's in football at IU. We made a feature story here at SportsLink by Abby Parnell. She was able to tell that story about Mason Jones.
Hill made a basket for Ball State. Osoynik responded. I mean, that was 15 seconds, 4 points. 18-13. Ball State leads 10:38 to go in the first. Baden Sparks, handoff Gorcito, left wing. Mason Jones, wide open three, straight away and good. No problem for the sophomore. His first basket of the game, it's 21-13.
The quick basket by the Eagles previously was exactly what Ball State shouldn't have happening, and is exactly what they're worried about. The Eagles being quick and getting behind them, obviously able to capitalize for 2 there. Mason Jones has been shooting 36 from beyond the arc so far, and there he is with a foul as well.
Substitutions here. Ethan Britton Watts checking in for Jamari Hill. So that wasn't a foul on Mason Jones. It was just off of his hand and out of bounds. So an inbound underneath the basket for Eastern Michigan after one more substitution. Christian Henry in for Jalen Terry, who was about to do the inbound before Coach Heath called for that sub. 16 seconds on the shot clock, 10:09 on the game clock in the first half. Inbound to Shanu II. Shot, Christian Henry, 3 ball, no good. Offensive board, leaping up for it was Tingler. Left corner, correction, that was Osoynik corralling it. Nelson, down low. Shanu II doing some work on Joey Hart and finishing his first bucket, 21-15, Ball State leads.
That's something as big as a height matchup. Shanu II is 6'11", Joey Hart is only 6'5", down low, one-on-one. Shanu II will win that all day.
Gorcito, bounce pass, Sparks, opposite end of the court, Britton Watts, left side. Give Jones straight away. Tight defense from Nelson. Back to Britton Watts, same spot, 7 on the shot clock. Bounce pass, Sparks at the charity stripe. Moving inside, tough jam, fouled on the way, almost a highlighter. Instead, it'll be 2 free throws.
Could have been seeing that on SportsCenter Top 10 like his teammate Jamari Hill, unable to bring it down there. Hard fall on his back, it looked like, but still could get 2 from the stripe here.
Baden Sparks is on a 6th straight free throw journey. counting the last game against Southern Miss and this one. And make it 7 straight. He almost missed it. It rolled around a good bit, but falls at the end of the day. He's up to 4 points, a substitution. Nope, it was just Joey Hart coming back from a conversation with Coach Lewis.
These Cardinals, rather than having a game ball, they have dogs of the game. They have a big dog bone that the player of the game for their team will sign. Sparks was the one that got to sign it once again against Southern Miss. He was considered the dog of the game, the MVP for the Cardinals.
And he makes that last free throw. 8 straight now for Sparks, 23-15. Ball State leads. Other end, Henry, tough. Shot no good. Rebound, Gorosito. Some contact down low, no whistle. Left wing, opposite side. Give to Sparks, and Aaron pass left behind him, and that is a turnover that Coach Lewis, being the coach he is, won't be happy about. Substitution for Ball State, Jeremiah Hernandez checks in for Juanzi, who's going to get an earful from Coach Lewis.
Gorosito has struggled with turnovers all year, and while he does so well from shooting, he is the shooting answer for these Cardinals. He has struggled with turnovers and a lot of times been the subject of scrutiny by Michael Lewis, and we've seen some chippy interactions between the two of them. Not much going on there.
8:45 in the first, 23-15, the Ball State advantage. Jalen Terry on offense for Eastern Michigan. Passes far corner, Billingsley thought about a 3. Moves inside. Tough contact on Mason Jones, sends him to the ground. Christian Henry, 3 ball, no good. And a rebound by Joey Hart. Ball State has it.
Mason Jones could have won an Oscar for the way he fell on a try to draw a charge.
Hernandez, right wing. Bounce pass, Peyton Sparks. Near block, whistle, and a travel. Spun around, lost his pivot foot at the end of the day. Another costly Ball State turnover. And some more substitutions for the Cardinals. Mickey Pearson Jr., Hill, and Ben Hendricks check in for Joey Hart, Mason Jones, and Peyton Sparks. So a bit of a new lineup. I haven't seen this combination in a good bit. Hendricks, Hernandez, Pearson Jr., Hill, and Britton Watts on the floor for Ball State. 8 minutes to go in the first. The Cardinals lead 23-15. Eastern Michigan has missed their last 4 3-pointers. Let's see if they go for one here. Christian Henry straight away. Pass, Osoynik. Right wing. Feed to Nelson straight away. Just inside the arc. Moves in on Mickey Pearson Jr. Acrobatic layup, and it falls off of the glass. His first points of this game, or his first field goal, rather.
It was clear that play was designed to go to Osoynik, but great job by Hernandez to stay on his assignment. But a nice response by the Eagles to still be able to cash that in.
Hill. Pass. Mickey Pearson, left corner 3, swish. Mickey Pearson Jr., a 33% 3-point shooter. No problem. 26-17. The Cards are chirping with 7:10 to go in the first.
When his feet are set, he can make almost any 3, especially in that corner.
And Jalen Terry responds with a mid-range jumper at the left elbow. 26-19 the score. Ball State still has the advantage. Britton Watts between the rings. Dribble move. Just inside the free throw line. Pass to Hendricks, stolen away by Billingsley. Eastern Michigan on the fast break. They'll slow it down. Terry has it straight away. Down low, Billingsley. Bounce, shot, good. Billingsley on a tear down low. Doing some work on Ben Hendricks. He's got 4 points, and it is a 5-point lead now for Ball State. 6:30 to go in the first.
He's had 3 double-digit point totals in the last 10, Brayden, and most recently was his 12-point performance against Old Dominion.
Hernandez straight away. He's stripped. Another turnover. Wide open lane for Terry. Here we go. One-hand jam. And a timeout. 6 points for Jalen Terry, and it is a 1-possession game. Eastern Michigan on a roll.
Man, Jalen Terry is a guy that can jump out of the gym. He's the shortest person on the floor, standing at just 6 foot even, but he was able to get up there on his own. Great job to bring it home and get some momentum going for these Eagles and get a dunk. But he's a guy that just keeps going. We already mentioned that he's 9th in minutes per game in the country. There's no history of him doing track or cross country in high school. He just continues to keep going.
A 6-0 run for Eastern Michigan in the last 69 seconds. They have done some dirty business right now. It was a double-digit lead for Ball State, all of a sudden taken away. 26-23, 6:13 to go. We'll take a break here from SportsLink Digital Radio presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. Don't go anywhere. More from this first half coming up right after this.
So just how big is the Mammoth Pizza at Mancino's? How about a big 24-inch round pizza loaded with all of your favorite toppings? Made to order just for you when you call 287-1300. The perfect size for the big game, the next game, or any event that demands not only the best, but the biggest pizza you can order. And Mancino's is ready anytime. Call, wait 10 to 15 minutes, then head to Mancino's for pickup. Man, is it good. When a large pizza isn't enough, you need at least one Mammoth from Mancino's.
Pepsi Zero Sugar has a new, better flavor. A Zero Sugar Cola has never tasted this good. But we don't expect you to take our word for it, so we're putting it to the test. Starting with me. My mouth is watering already, so I think we can skip the drum roll and get right to the main event. Cue the fireworks. We have an official best Zero Sugar ever. It's delicious, it's refreshing, and it's so good you'll need to try it for yourself. Trust me. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero never tasted so good. That's what I like.
Standards. High standards. That's what sets teams apart. It's also what sets us apart at Pridemark Construction. We're not alone in holding our standards high. Ball State University is among those who do. That's why we're proud to sponsor the Ball State Athlete of the Week. High standards in everyday performance is everything in sport, as well as business. Join us in our pursuit of excellence. Join Pridemark Construction for your next building project and in our support of Ball State University's Athlete of the Week.
Indiana's top sports media school in 2024 by the Indiana Association of School Broadcasters.
This is Ball State Sports Link.
Welcome live from Worthen Arena once again. 6:13 left in the first half. Eastern Michigan, a 6-0 run, has cut this deficit to 3. Ball State leads 26-23. I'm Brayden Carroll, Dylan Budd alongside. Thank you for joining us here on SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. This has been a fun one, Dylan. Back and forth here down the stretch of this first half, and Ball State just looking to find ways to overcome the paint deficit. Down in the paint, you'd be surprised to learn Eastern Michigan's leading in points down there, 18-10 over this Cardinal team. Peyton Sparks looking to do some work here out of the timeout.
The Cardinals had 44 points inside the paint against Southern Miss in their last game on Saturday. Obviously unable to capitalize to the extent that they're used to, but a great job by the Eagles to continue to shut that aspect down.
Pearson Jr. looking for a 3 out of the break, no good, and a rebound, Jalen Terry. Eastern Michigan, other end, Osoynik thought about a 3, double team, weaving through traffic. Backdoor pass to the perimeter, Nelson has it. Charity stripe, Osoynik, step over, 3 ball, near side, good. How about that one from the 6'6 sophomore?
Nice 3 and elusive from Osoynik. He has a really interesting story. It seems like he lost the starting job in mid-January, obviously starting today, but he started to get that back. His field goal percentage as a starter is 26.1, but off the bench, it's 48.2, a substantial difference. Credit to him for being able to get that roll back, though.
And Sparks both makes the basket and a whistle for Eastern Michigan for goaltending. Deshaun Nelson called for it. Clearly swats that basketball after it hits the window. Either way, it was going in. 28-26. Ball State takes the lead back, 5-12 here in the first. Osoynik straight away, pass to Henry left wing, now Terry at the Cardinal logo. Back to Henry left arc. Follows a Billingsley screen, mid-range, pivot foot, back to Terry. Straight away, 10 on the shot clock. Follows the screen, moves inside, leaves a pass for Nelson that goes wide. He corrals it. Near block, out, Billingsley, 3 straight away. Offline, rebound, Mickey Pearson Jr. Ball State has it. Full court defense to no effect for Eastern. Ball State gets it across the timeline. Few passes, Mickey Pearson straight away. Feed to Hernandez, right wing, moving in toward the baseline. Weaves around, misses, gets his own board, and finishes. A second chance bucket for Jeremiah Hernandez.
Just one more bucket will put him at that 1,000-point mark, Brayden. Expect to see that soon.
He's at 4 points. He was 6 away heading into this one from 1,000. Other end, Eastern Michigan, a tough shot by Christian Henry over the head of Sparks down low is good.
That's 8 points for Christian Henry. He leads the team in scoring right now. We talked pregame about this matchup between Henry and Hill. Hill leads the Cardinals with 9. Henry leads the Eagles with 8.
30-28. Ball State leads. 3:54 to go in the first half. Hill down low. Tough layup. No good. Sparks offensive board and the putback. No problem for Peyton Sparks.
This is the high-end talent we talk about with Peyton Sparks. He had 3 Eagles around him down low and still able to get an offensive rebound and score nonetheless.
Osoynik, other end for Eastern. Left corner, moves in on Hernandez to the restricted zone. Stripped of the ball. A turnover. Hernandez with the steal. Outlet pass to Brayden Watts. Too strong. And a turnover is responded with another turnover. Right back to the hands of Eastern and immediate timeout. We'll take a quick break here from SportsLink Digital. This is Ball State men's basketball presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. The score, Ball State 32, Eastern Michigan 28. The rest of the first half on the other side.
So just how big is the Mammoth Pizza at Mancino's? How about a big 24-inch round pizza loaded with all of your favorite toppings? Made to order just for you when you call 287-1300. The perfect size for the big game, the next game, or any event that demands not only the best, but the biggest pizza you can order. And Mancino's is ready anytime. Call, wait 10 to 15 minutes, then head to Mancino's for pickup. Man, is it good. When a large pizza isn't enough, you need at least one Mammoth from Mancino's.
Pepsi Zero Sugar has a new, better flavor. A Zero Sugar Cola has never tasted this good. But we don't expect you to take our word for it, so we're putting it to the test. Starting with me. My mouth is watering already, so I think we can skip the drum roll and get right to the main event. Cue the fireworks. We have an official best Zero Sugar ever. It's delicious, it's refreshing, and it's so good you'll need to try it for yourself. Trust me. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero never tasted so good. That's what I like.
Standards. High standards. That's what sets teams apart. It's also what sets us apart at Pridemark Construction. We're not alone in holding our standards high. Ball State University is among those who do. That's why we're proud to sponsor the Ball State Athlete of the Week. High standards in everyday performance is everything in sport, as well as business. Join us in our pursuit of excellence. Join Pridemark Construction for your next building project and in our support of Ball State University's Athlete of the Week.
Ranked number 2 in the nation for sports media by the Broadcast Education Association.
This is Ball State Sports Link.
Welcome back to Worthen Arena. The score 32-28 in favor of the Cardinals with 3:25 left to go in the first half. I'm Brayden Carroll, Dylan Budd alongside. A big difference here between a lead and no lead for Ball State is their crisp free throw shooting. 5 of 5 as a team total in this first half. One of the cleanest performances we've seen all year from Ball State at the line.
And this is once again what we've talked about with Michael Lewis, the fact that he will find a glaring issue with these Cardinals, and that will be the issue in practice, something to turn around immediately. This is them starting to do that. Hopefully they can keep the pace if you're a Cardinal faithful, but coming into the first media timeout, we thought this was a game that could be uglier than anticipated. Now we see what we were in for, a very close matchup and a high-stakes environment here at Worthen Arena.
Both teams 4 and 6 in MAC play in the pile of 4 and 6 teams. 6 through 9, all with the same record. This would do some numbers for either team. A victory tonight to push themselves ahead in the MAC standings.
Eastern Michigan, Central Michigan, and Western Michigan, all in Michigan, with a 4 and 6 record. 2 of the 3, the former 2 with 11 and 12, the latter with a 7 and 16. Western Michigan, as we said, will play Akron tonight. Central Michigan will play Kent State, who's at 5 and 5 at the 5 seed.
Jalen Terry out of the timeout for Eastern Michigan. Left wing, pass down low. Deshaun Nelson, the Star Eagle, bounce pass, great feed to Dylan Tingler, and he finishes at the glass.
It almost looked like Sparks and Hill were doubling on Nelson, which allowed Tingler to get open underneath. Great look by Nelson.
32-30, a one-possession game. Ball State leads with under 3 to go in the first half. Pearson Jr. near corner. Guarded closely by Nelson. Pass to Hernandez, right wing. Over to Brayden Watts. Far side now. Sparks, Hill. Thought about a three. Moves into the mid-range. Down to the baseline. Lost his handles. Gets the ball back. Pearson Jr. straight away. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Hernandez takes a three. Left it short. Rebound, Eastern Michigan.
Would have been his 1,000th. The level-headed Michael Lewis has started to get more and more frustrated with his team.
And Jalen Terry responds with a left wing three, and Eastern Michigan has the lead, 33-32, 2:17 in the first half.
And their first lead of the game. It's go time now for these Eagles.
Brayden Watts responds with a three. Right wing, no problem, over two defenders. He has 5 points. And it's 35-33, Ball State right back at it. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Jalen Terry, deep in the wing. Feed to Shanu the second. Now Osoynik, far arc. And an errant pass to Terry. Sails to the near sideline rather. A turnover. Ball State will have possession. 1:49 in this first half, 35-33. The Cardinals have been hanging on to the advantage, but Eastern Michigan saying, hello, how do you do? 8 of 9 on their last field goal, on their last 9 field goals, correction. Strong shooting from both teams. Mickey Pearson Jr. left wing. Pass Brayden Watts between the rings. Back to Pearson Jr. Hesitation, whistle, and a foul by Eastern Michigan. They'll call that one on Deshaun Nelson. His second personal, team's 5th.
As the game goes on, execution is going to be more and more important. Watts had 2 people start to stunt towards him. That's why he kicked it out to Pearson, able to pump fake and able to draw the foul. As these teams get more and more tired, that's when we see more fouls happen naturally. Execution precisely is going to be pivotal, especially at this point in the stretch.
And with foul trouble, Nelson subs out. Jihad checks in. And a timeout on the baseline inbound by Ethan Brayden Watts. Some tight defense by Eastern Michigan forces the first timeout by Ball State in this one. 1:34 left to go in the first half. 35-33 is the score. The story so far for Eastern Michigan is their three-point shooting hasn't been that strong so far, 2 of 7, but overall, they've been dominant from the field, 62%, 15 of 24. The bulk of their points are just coming off of great feeds down low and finishes at the basket. But outside of that, Ball State has been stout on defense.
The lead has been pretty marginal for the Eagles as of late, but there was a point early in this game where they were down by a lot, and they've been able to catch up because they've started to do less turnovers and less errant passes. That's the only thing you really can complain about if you're an Eastern Michigan fan right now. They have to be smarter on offense, and if they can continue to do that, they could see a lead change once again, and maybe this time Eastern Michigan is able to maintain it.
Brayden Watts again to inbound underneath the basket, far side of the baseline. Wait the cue from the officials to get this one rolling. 94 seconds left in the first half. The Cards lead by 2, 35-33.
Looks like some conversation between Stan Heath and one of the officials.
Yep. Brayden Watts to inbound. Feeds it to Pearson Jr. straight away. Now Hill left wing. Makes his move. Close elbow. Pearson Jr. tough three over 2 defenders closing in. Not a problem. Mickey Pearson Jr. 6 points off of 2 threes. And it's 38-33. Ball State up with 1:21 to go in the first.
Second 3 of the game for Mickey Pearson. And like we said before, when he can set his feet and get on his spot, he is almost unstoppable from beyond the arc. He leads, or I'm sorry, he only is shooting 33%, but it doesn't account for the amount of times he has an open look. And when he does just that, that's when you see all of those shots get through the net, hit the hardwood with 3 points more.
Across the timeline for Eastern Michigan. Osoynik, far corner, step over 3, too strong, rebound Peyton Sparks. Ball State has it. A substitution for Eastern on that last break. Jalen Billingsley in for Shanu the second. Another sub preparing for the next dead ball. Tingler getting ready to come in. For now, Ball State has it. Mickey Pearson Jr. straight away. Pass to Hill, left wing. Almost lost the ball in the pass. Heads down to the restricted zone. Now at the MAC logo. Fade away. Jumper, no good. Sparks goes for the rebound. And a foul by Eastern Michigan. A push. They'll call that one on Jalen Terry. His first personal. The team's sixth. So that will be now. Correction, that's going to be... Nope, it is on Terry. A miscue by the board op. So that's now one away from the bonus for Ball State.
Surprised that wasn't Peyton Sparks. It looked like he had tried to reach over the back. Official could call a foul on that too, but obviously it'll go to Terry.
Tingler in for Jihad. Down low. Great work by Jamari Hill. Moving out and in along the far baseline. It's 40-33. He's up to 11 points. A timeout taken by Eastern, their first. 40-33 the score as Ball State on a 6-0 run of their own in the last minute and 45 seconds.
Well done by Michael Lewis to be able to rally the troops and kind of reel things in. And in a situation like this, a lot of times you'll see these teams and these players start to get really frantic. Nice job by the coaching staff to be able to calm the squad down, stick to their guns, and that's why they're up 7 once again.
If you're Eastern Michigan, you got to find a way to cut into this lead before the break. 7 points. We found that 7 points in the Mid-American Conference, that's a big lead. That's a tough lead to overcome. Maybe not in other conferences with such high-impact, high-octane offenses, but here with the defense and, to be honest, the amount of turnovers we see, 7 points is tough to overcome.
Speaking of 7, the average margin of victory in the last 5 games between these two teams is exactly 7 points. That being said, the last 2 times they played in Worthen Arena, significantly closer. It seems like another installment of that will be happening tonight.
Billingsley, charity stripe jumper, no good. Rebound, Sparks. And Ball State has it. No shot clock, 15 seconds and rolling. Britton Watts at the Cardinal logo. Dribbling, awaiting to set up the final play. Follows a Sparks screen out. Gorosito, top of the key, 3 seconds, over to Hill. He'll have to take something, moves inside, 1 second, shot blocked, and that will be the end of the half. Ball State leads 40-33. Tight throughout this first half, but a great run, 6-0 with 2:29 being the time in the last stretch of this first half that Ball State really pulled through, and now it's a 3-possession lead Eastern Michigan will have to face here during the break. We'll take a break as well. 15 minutes to go until we get the second half going. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. Don't go anywhere.
For the best stories, access, and coverage of Ball State sports, follow SportsLink on social media platforms Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. Search @BSU SportsLink.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Your home for live Ball State sports, streaming right in your timeline.
This is SportsLink Digital.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, pay-per-go toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
SportsLink is the official production partner of Ball State Athletics.
All the chirp you can handle.
Whether you're getting ready for the big game or getting ready for the workday, you always want to start with confidence. Cintas has the essential products and services to help businesses provide a clean, safe environment for their employees and customers. With routine restocking of essential cleaning, hygiene, and safety supplies, on-site cleaning, professional uniform laundering, and testing and inspection of fire equipment and systems. Give everyone the confidence they need to start their day. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Link is the official production partner of Ball State Athletics.
All the chirp you can handle.
Welcome back to Worthen Arena. Thank you for joining us here on the SportsLink Digital Halftime Show. For this men's basketball showdown between Ball State and Eastern Michigan, the score 40-33 in favor of the Cardinals. I'm Brayden Carroll, Dylan Budd alongside, and so far this has been a sloppy performance. You look at the turnovers, 6 for each team, but for Ball State, their shooting has been superb. 53% from the field, 41% from beyond the arc, and a perfect 5 of 5 from the charity stripe, which has been one of the main heels to Ball State performing down the stretch. Has been their free throw percentage, but here it's golden.
Absolutely pivotal stat that you mentioned pregame, that Ball State had been struggling with field goal percentage, one of the worst Division I teams in the country. The fact that they are perfect through one half is frankly impressive. And it's exactly why they're up 7 points right now in such a close game. They're able to capitalize on an opportunity that has not gone their way earlier this year. This time they do so, and that's why they're ahead.
And you look at Eastern Michigan, they're not shooting bad either. 57% from the field, but you look deeper, they've only had to attempt 2 free throws so far. This has just been a clean game foul-wise for Ball State, which is kind of uncommon. We usually see Ball State fouling teams, sending them to the line frequently, but here, only 3 personals for Ball State in that first half. And that's been a huge deal to shutting down Eastern Michigan, forcing them to play straight up, something that the Eagles have struggled with in this one.
You would think with how fast this Eagles team is that Ball State might get a little handsy to try and stop whoever's driving down low, whether that's Henry or Nelson or someone of that sort. But so far, like you said, only 2 trips to the line for the Eagles so far. Nice job to be able to maintain for this defense by the Cardinals. And it's proved pivotal down the stretch. A lot of times you'll see a little bit of a hack-a-shack that Ball State likes to play. This time they don't have to, and they're ahead because of it.
And Jamari Hill has been brilliant. 11 points, 5 assists. He's been a facilitator and doing work of his own. 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 1 of 1 from beyond the arc. He's been a guy this season who has really stepped it up a notch as one of the incoming transfers amongst this class for Ball State, and we're seeing it again tonight. The kid has been tough, straight up, heading to the restricted zone with no fear, moving into the paint with complete disregard for how tough Eastern Michigan's defense has been in this one. Jamari Hill, this is just another standout performance from him.
And I'm glad we talked about his passing. Right, his average right now for assists is 3.2 a game, and that leads the team. Through just one half alone, he has 5. It's gone to show how this Cardinal offense has changed to increase their passing philosophy, and it's gotten them open looks. We can talk all day about how Jamari Hill is such a good player on offense and how he does so well from beyond the arc, from inside the key, from in the paint, from mid-range, and he's done so all year. He brings a new level to this Cardinal offense, but the fact that he's brought passing on a team that's generally very one-sided and one-dimensional on their side of the ball, they've lived and died by it. But adding that passing aspect has brought a new level and a new dimension to this offense.
We're going to take a quick break here from the SportsLink Digital Halftime Show. On the other side, we'll give you some scores around the Mid-American Conference as the rest of the league is also at halftime, coincidentally. I'm Brayden Carroll, Dylan Budd alongside. We'll see you on the other side for more of this halftime show coverage.
Whether you're getting ready for the big game or getting ready for the workday, you always want to start with confidence. Cintas has the essential products and services to help businesses provide a clean, safe environment for their employees and customers. With routine restocking of essential cleaning, hygiene, and safety supplies, on-site cleaning, professional uniform laundering, and testing and inspection of fire equipment and systems. Give everyone the confidence they need to start their day. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
The Hampton Inn of Muncie is the official partner of Ball State Athletics. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. The Hampton Inn is one of Muncie's finest hotels. Come enjoy our free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and fresh Hampton beds waiting for you. Less than a mile away from Ball State campus. Don't forget to ask about our Ball State special. Search Hampton Inn of Muncie online at munciesweets.hamptonin.com. At munciesweets.hamptonin.com.
From trivia night at Brothers and tater tots at Roots.
Never miss a Ball State game with SportsLink Digital.
Welcome back to Worthen Arena. The score 40-33 in favor of Ball State here at the halftime break. 7:30 to go until the start of the second half. I'm Brayden, Carroll, Dylan Budd alongside. And they just announced the 2025 Teen Shootout Championship, annual production put on during one halftime every season. I didn't quite see who won, but what a show. Every college dean joins it, plays a little basketball. I wonder when was the last time most of the deans have hit the courts. Based on the shooting, I would guess it's been a while.
That's a great trivia question. Judging by the amount of gray hairs I saw on the court, judging by the shooting ability, it's certainly been a while. With all due respect to them, I'm sure it's been a couple decades for sure. But, you know, we can't completely make that true, and we can't confirm that. Maybe some of them play with their kids, something like that. Get a little bit of reps in before something as high stakes as this. We never really know.
Well, we can tell you with truth and honesty, there were a lot of air balls in that shootout, folks. Looking at the MAC scores now, we said we would. Here we go. First off, Miami of Ohio up 45-30 over Toledo. That's a matchup between 2 and 3 in MAC play. And how about Cam Kraft? He was a star against Ball State. He's a star again in this one. 20 points, 6 of 9 from beyond the arc. The team 11 of 20 as a whole from three-point range. Miami is a dangerous threat. They're eyeing Akron later in the season. This is kind of a game to see if they're ready to face a team like the Zips, and they're proving it through one half.
And this is what we talked about with the Mid-American Conference. While there are teams like Akron that are undefeated, it's still very wide open no matter where you look at it. Miami's playing Toledo. That's the 2 and the 3 in the MAC, like you mentioned. And Miami's up 15 points. Anything can happen. Ball State, while they're at the 6th spot right now, they lost to the last team in the MAC, NIU, in the Huskies' lone conference win. It's so wide open, and with 6 or so games left, it's still really anybody's game.
Taking a look at another one, Kent State, they're up 48-33, another 15-point advantage over the Central Michigan Chippewas, one of those 4 and 6 teams in conference play. If Central Michigan drops this one, it's a bigger deal in this one between 2 other 4 and 6 teams. You win, and suddenly you're automatically ahead of 2 other teams in the Mid-American Conference. Leading the charge for Kent State, Von Cameron Davis, among starters, 11 points, and off the bench, Marquise Barnett with 15 points, 3 of 4 from beyond. Another team shooting a high mark from the perimeter. 9 of 18, 50%.
Well done by the Golden Flashes to get guys off the bench. It's a very good team from top to bottom and very well-rounded. So a lot of eyes are on the 5, 6, 7, 8 teams in the MAC, that middle of the pack area that's going to unravel tonight, depending on the game we're calling right now and the game you just mentioned.
And looking at the top team in the conference, Akron, they're up 10 points against Western Michigan. Again, Dylan, if this score holds and if the last score holds, no matter what happens here between Ball State and Eastern Michigan, that's 3 4 and 6 teams that will drop to 4 and 7, and one team that moves up to 5 and 6 and automatically jumps into the 6th spot, which is a pretty comfortable spot for the MAC tournament. Akron up 10 points over the Broncos. Amani Lyles, 11 points. The team shooting 46% from beyond. They haven't had to attempt a free throw yet, and it's been no problem.
So the Zips obviously are leading the conference right now, undefeated in MAC play. But when you face good teams like this, if I'm a Western Michigan Bronco, when you're facing a good team like this, playing such high-level competition will make your team better. And while it might diminish your record, it'll make you better in the long run, and that's pivotal for the Broncos down the stretch. Hopefully their record can hold with these final 6 games. That'll be pivotal. It looks like they won't be able to come on top, but again, anything can happen in action. But it'll help them in the long run to continue to be better.
You mentioned anything can happen. While Bowling Green has Ohio on upset alert. The 3-7 in conference play Falcons lead over the Bobcats 34-32. Impressive start. Marcus Johnson, 12 points, 4 of 9 from the field. The team not shooting on a high mark, 33% from beyond, 60% from the charity stripe. Ohio's 8 of 8 from the charity stripe. It just looks like the more productive team as a whole in that one has been Bowling Green.
I've been able to see Marcus Johnson firsthand. Myself and LJ Shreve were able to call the Ball State Bowling Green game when the Falcons came here to Worthen Arena. And I can tell you firsthand, Marcus Johnson is not one to be messed with. Him and Peyton Sparks were going at it toe-to-toe all game. Obviously, the Cardinals closed out on top. But Johnson is somebody that can be so physical down low, but also has shooting ability in the mid-range. He's like a roadblock when he's setting a screen. It's so hard to get through him, and it creates a lot of offensive opportunities for the Bowling Green State Falcons.
And the final game in the Mid-American Conference has already started their second half. Buffalo leads 34-28 over Northern Illinois. Leading the charge, Tyson Dunn, 4 of 8 from the field, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Not impressive from either team statistically, but 11 turnovers for Northern Illinois. That's probably the big reason that they're down.
Not impressive from both teams statistically, and that's pretty much been the mantra all year. Buffalo is 2-8 in conference play. NIU is 1-9. Overall, 7-16 for Buffalo, and then the Huskies are 5-18. It's been a statement for the struggles that each team has had all year. And while it's a fight for a higher spot in the MAC tournament and in MAC seeding, there really isn't too much implications with that game.
And looking elsewhere in Indiana, Purdue leads 37-35 over Michigan in the top 25 matchup. Lawyer and Smith combined for 24 points. And Indiana State, Northern Iowa just started. The Panthers lead 2-0. Indiana, Michigan State, that hasn't started yet. Maybe we'll get to tip off there. It's scheduled at 9. That will do it here for the halftime show, as we will take one last break before sending you to the second half. Stay tuned.
Whether you're getting ready for the big game or getting ready for the workday, you always want to start with confidence. Cintas has the essential products and services to help businesses provide a clean, safe environment for their employees and customers. With routine restocking of essential cleaning, hygiene, and safety supplies, on-site cleaning, professional uniform laundering, and testing and inspection of fire equipment and systems. Give everyone the confidence they need to start their day. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
The Hampton Inn of Muncie is the official partner of Ball State Athletics. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. The Hampton Inn is one of Muncie's finest hotels. Come enjoy our free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and fresh Hampton beds waiting for you. Less than a mile away from Ball State campus. Don't forget to ask about our Ball State special. Search Hampton Inn of Muncie online at munciesuites.hamptoninn.com. At munciesuites.hamptoninn.com.
You're listening to SportsLink Digital, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Your home for live Ball State sports.
A sideline inbound away from the start of the second half. Ball State leads 40-33. Eastern Michigan will start off with the basketball, moving left to right. This will be an exciting finish. The Eagles start off with it. Terry, left wing, pass to Nelson straight away. Down low, a great feed in transition to Christian Henry, and he finishes without a problem.
It's going to be a close matchup all game, but still, the Eagles are down 7 points. Nice job by them to be able to score quickly and start chipping away at that deficit.
Other end, Hill, tough layup over 3 defenders. He's fouled on the way. We'll see if they decide to call that one on. It will be Christian Henry, his first personal, team's first of this second half. So 2 free throws for the 66% free throw shooter, Jamari Hill. Worthen goes silent for this one. And he makes it. The Cardinals remain perfect from the charity stripe in this one. 6 of 6 for a team that's 11th in the conference in free throw percentage on the season.
And Hill continues to extend his lead of being first place in the MAC for free throws made. This team has struggled, but him and Peyton Sparks especially have had a lot of opportunities from the line. And generally they've been able to capitalize, but a lot of times they've been on the other end of that.
He makes the second one, 42-35. Ball State leads. Other end, a tough layup by Deshaun Nelson. He's up to 5 points, 42-37 now. 19-16 to go. Mickey Pearson Jr. pass to Gorosito, right wing. Now Sparks straight away. Over to Hill, left wing. Follows a screen from Sparks. Back to him on the pick and roll, and that pass is over his head, and a turnover. Eastern Michigan will have it.
Not often that we see Peyton Sparks get the ball at the top of the key. A little bit of a struggle when you have nobody down low. Sparks unable to get there in that possession. Ball State will have to cut their losses.
Eastern Michigan's playing the time game here, letting the ball roll all the way to the half-court line before they set up. As 19 minutes are on the clock, Osoynik passes. Now Henry straight away. Feed to Terry, left wing. Follows the screen from Shanu II. Heads in on his own, and a tough layup over the head of Peyton Sparks.
We saw the ball roll for the time game. Interesting tactic while you're down 5, but it's like they said in dodgeball, it's a bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Jamari Hill, left wing, 42-39. 18:33 to go. Britton Watts, top of the key, over to Gorosito. Far arc, now Hill straight away. Feed, Mickey Pearson Jr. over to Britton Watts. Left corner, back to Pearson Jr., back to Hill now. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Step up 3, straight away, no good. Rebound, Osoynik. Outlet pass, mishandled. Maybe a little too strong from Arne Osoynik. Tried to find Christian Henry, and it's yet another turnover for Eastern Michigan. That will cost them what could have been easy points. 42-39 the score, 18:15 to go.
Missed chance for Christian Henry to be able to score, but we were able to see a glimpse of just how fast he is and how quickly he can get from one side of the floor to another.
Billingsley checks in for Shanu II. Ball State, other end, Britton Watts. Far side, Mickey Pearson, now Hill. Left wing, moves in. Pass to Mickey Pearson Jr., deflected by Nelson, and off of the Eagles. It will be an inbound along the far sideline. Jamari Hill will be the Cardinal sending it in.
Smart play by Pearson to see the Eagle hand and make sure to not touch that, make sure nobody else does. He's an academic All-MAC multiple times.
5 seconds on the shot clock. Hill straight away. 3 ball blocked. And Eastern Michigan has possession. Other end. Oh my, an alley-oop. Wow. Deshaun Nelson, how do you do? He's got 7 points and a highlight here early in the second half. 17-30, 42-41. It's a 1-possession game.
We had talked about Jalen Terry's vertical ability. Deshaun Nelson can jump out of the gym, and we saw it just right there.
Jamari Hill responds with a mid-range jumper outside of the charity stripe. 44-41. He's got 15 points with 17:10 to go. Christian Henry deep in the left wing. Hill guarding. Over to Billingsley. Back to Henry. Moves inside on Hendricks. Spins around outside the restricted zone. Blocked. Hill corrals it. Pass Gorosito. Catch and shoot 3 left wing. Swish! Juanzi Gorosito, his first bucket of the game. And it's 47-41. And we'll have a break here in injury timeout as Hendricks is slow to get up. He wobbles up. He's a little wobbly on the right ankle. Coach Heath barking orders. And it's going to be Ball State basketball. Will they count the basket as well? I believe so. We'll see what happened as it's on the big screen. A 3 by Gorosito. And then a hard foul on Ben Hendricks. Hard enough that they're going to give it back to Ball State.
It looked like Deshaun Nelson had shoved Hendricks from behind made Hendricks fall, and then, like you said, a lower leg injury potentially. We hope he's okay.
So it will be Ball State basketball, and then immediately stolen by Osoynik, where he is immediately fouled by Jamari Hill.
There's not much you can do there. Moving momentum. Osoynik did a great job of intercepting the ball, but then he had to get Jamari Hill coming right to his rib cage. That's going to be a blocking foul all day.
That's the second personal for Jamari Hill. An inbound on the near sideline for Eastern Michigan. Jalen Terry will take it across the timeline. 47-41, Ball State leads with 16:44 to go. Chanu the second, pass back to Terry, left wing. Deep three ball over Britton Watts, left it short, and a foul off ball on Eastern Michigan. They're going to call that one on Deshaun Nelson. That's his third personal. He's unhappy about that one, so is Coach Heath.
And right after a scramble with Ben Hendricks, now he has one with Mickey Pearson. He has to stay smart here. Now he's getting chippy with Michael Lewis.
Tension all over the floor. A two-possession game, 16-30. Ball State leads 47-41. Jamari Hill at the Cardinal logo. Mickey Pearson Jr. straight away. Ethan Britton Watts. Gorosito left corner. Bounce pass Sparks. Moving in on the block. Double teamed. Out. Britton Watts. 7 on the shot clock. Straight away. Charity stripe. Pivot, jumper, no good. Rebound, Osoynik. Eastern Michigan, quick across the timeline. Now Terry with it, a whistle in transition, and a foul on Ball State. We'll see who they call that on. That's going to be on Ethan Britton Watts, his first personal, the team's second. So an inbound along the far sideline, the offensive zone for Eastern.
Things are starting to get much more physical, especially with Deshaun Nelson, who's having a conversation with one of the officials right now. Great for the Eagles to start matching that physicality of the Cardinal offense, but this is not the way to do it. We saw that Ben Hendricks got a little dust up. Mickey Pearson has exclaimed a couple times, and we've heard it from here.
Three ball, Jalen Terry deep in the right wing, no good, and ball heads out of bounds. They'll say off of Ball State, Juanzi Gorosito, the last to touch it, and that'll take us to immediate timeout. 47-41 is the score. 15:56 to go. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Mid-American Conference Basketball on SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, pay-per-go toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
From the Bell Tower to your smartphone, anywhere in the world.
Never miss Ball State Sports with SportsLink Digital.
Welcome back to the campus of Ball State University. The Cardinals lead 47-41 over Eastern Michigan with 15:56 left to go in the second half. I'm Brayden Carroll. Dylan Budd alongside. Eastern Michigan still owning the paint. 28-18 advantage over Ball State down there, but so far their shooting just hasn't been strong outside of that. 2 of 10 from beyond the arc, the story of Eastern. They just haven't been able to convert on those high point advantage shots.
It's been pivotal for these Eagles down the stretch. And at a time like this where tensions are really high, like we saw with Michael Lewis in the first half, Stan Heath needs to calm his guys down, make sure things are okay, and stick to fundamentals. We saw Juanzi Gorosito get a little bit of frustration when the ball went out of bounds. He thought that it was going to be Cardinal possession. Clearly it wasn't, but it's almost a perfect time for immediate timeout for the Cardinals as well. Gorosito had an opportunity to get frustrated. Lewis able to bring his guys in, rally the troops once more. So Perfect timing for a break for both of these squads. We'll see what happens and who can take advantage of it the most in just a matter of moments.
During the break, I'm sure these Eagles players love to hear the wisdom of Coach Heath. He is a legend in college basketball. 251 wins in 17 seasons. He made the Elite Eight with Kent State in 2002, a 30-win season with the Golden Flashes. Then he goes to Arkansas, coaches there for 5 years with 2 NCAA appearances. Then goes to University of South Florida, coached there for 6 years, took them to a NCAA tournament. Now he's here at Eastern Michigan trying to get things going again with another mid-major school. He is a guy who, when he talks, you listen. And I'm sure that these Eagle players have loved to hear him for the past 4 years.
And while most of his success was at Kent State, you had mentioned that he had a stint at Bowling Green as well. This is his 4th year in Eastern Michigan, but he is no stranger to the MAC nonetheless.
Inbound along the sideline in the offensive area for Eastern Michigan. Terry has it out of the pass in. Give to Henry. Left corner 3, bouncing around and out. Offensive board corralled by Nelson. A whistle and a foul on Ball State. They will call that one on Mickey Pearson Jr. That's his second. Team's third. A substitution for Eastern Michigan as Jalen Billingsley checks in for Deshaun Nelson, who's still in a good deal of foul trouble with 3.
Oftentimes when Henry is rattled and needs a quick shot, he pistons his arm and overextends, and that's what we saw there and why it clanked off the rim.
Henry straight away out of the inbound. Now Terry left wing. Working on Jamari Hills. Shanu the second setting screens. Moving toward the baseline. Feed to Osoynik right corner. Billingsley back to Osoynik. Tough jumper on the MAC logo, and he left that one way too strong off the window. Gorosito with the rebound, and Ball State moving it now across the timeline.
Missed assignment by Mickey Pearson Jr., but that makes it a missed opportunity for the Eastern Michigan Eagles.
Brayden Watts with possession. Sparks right wing. Dishes to Pearson Jr. straight away. Over to Brayden Watts, left wing. Leaves one for Sparks just outside the near block. Moving on, Shanu the second spins around to the zone and good. Peyton Sparks showing not only his physicality, but his footwork. He's up to double digits, 49-41. Ball State leads, 14:45 to go.
We had seen that against Marcus Johnson, the aforementioned Bowling Green star. He was able to be elusive as well and be versatile with that turnaround and jumper.
And Jalen Billingsley turns one around and finishes in the restricted zone, 49-43. He's up to 6 points. Ball State still leads by 6. Jamari Hill at the Cardinal logo. Tingler getting ready to sub in for Eastern Michigan. Hill, pivot foot. Pearson Jr. now, top of the key. Over to Hill, left wing. Brayden Watts, deep left wing 3. Too strong off the back of the iron, and Osoynik corrals it. Bounce pass leaves it for Christian Henry. Deep in the left wing, calls out the play. Follows a tough Billingsley screen, a little too tough, an illegal screen. Some substitutions here as Ball State will have possession afterwards. Ben Hendricks and Mason Jones checking in for Peyton Sparks and Mickey Pearson Jr. We'll see if Coach Heath decides to sub in Dylan Tingler. He does as he checks in for Osoynik. So a turnover, Ball State has it now. Brayden Watts across the timeline. Bounce pass, Hendricks left wing. Looked for Hill, down low, couldn't find him, and passes instead to Gorosito. Now Jones with it. He feeds to Brayden Watts. Over to Hill, left wing 3, no good. Left that one short. Gets his own board. Don't see that very often. Moving on the near block, double teamed out. Brayden Watts, 3-ball left wing. No good again. Rebound, another one by Ball State, and a foul by Dylan Tingler on the rebound opportunity. That's the 15th foul.
Mason Jones did such a great job to corral that in under such contested play by Dylan Tingler.
A substitution, Deshaun Nelson checking in once more as he comes in for John Shanu the second. Inbound underneath the backboard. Brayden Watts, 20 seconds on the shot clock. Gets it in to the perimeter. Hill has it. Left wing, Jones sets a screen. Guarded by Nelson. Hill, baseline jumper, mid-range, rattles out. Rebound Billingsley, and Eastern Michigan will have control. Other end, Terry, a whistle in transition and a foul by Ball State. That's the team's fourth. We'll see who they call it on. They're going to call it on Jamari Hill. That's his third, and we will have a quick substitution here. Jeremiah Hernandez, who's 2 points away from 1,000 career points. He'll be the one to check in for Jamari Hill.
It'll be interesting how the Cardinals use Hill down the stretch. He has 3 fouls, only 2 left before he is removed from the game. 13 minutes left, and with the amount of firepower he brings to this team in such a close matchup, Lewis has to be careful with his use.
Out of the inbound, Henry, top of the key. Stuck on a pivot foot, a whistle down low, and it'll be another foul on Ball State. I believe that one is on Mason Jones. Yes, it is. A push down in the restricted zone. That's his first personal, the team's 5th, as they are 2 away from sending Eastern Michigan to the bonus.
It ended up being a Cardinal foul, but visible frustration from Christian Henry. He's very clearly rattled, and he's been talking to Stan Heath repeatedly throughout, especially the second half. If you're the Cardinal defense, this is exactly what you want, trying to throw him off his game as much as you can.
Tough layup in the restricted zone out of the inbound. Good over the head of Gorcito.
Sure enough, he gets it there, but
that was Christian Henry. He's up to 12 points. Brayden Watts, Cardinal logo. Let's see if Hernandez is the one to get a bucket here. 12:30 to go. Up 49-45. Gorcito straight away over to Hernandez. Step over. Great bounce pass to Hendricks, but he couldn't corral it. A turnover. Henry on the fast break. Feed. Terry. He can't get a finish. Nelson gets the board, spinning around the zone, and finishes down low. Tough bucket by Jalen Henry. He reaches double digits with 11 points.
And we saw once again this Cardinals defense emphasizing being straight up. Hendricks had his arms fully extended in the air, and Nelson did a great job to extend.
And Hernandez gets his bucket. Potentially. We'll see if they count it. A foul afterwards, it will count. It's not very ceremonious, kind of anticlimactic, but it's the 1,000th career point for Jeremiah Hernandez. 51-47, Cardinals lead, 11:55 to go in the second half. He's up to 6 points and 1,000 on his career.
Congratulations to Hernandez. The grad student has done so well in his career, especially in his last year at USI. Very cerebral player and brings a lot of experience to this Cardinal team.
Nelson fouled down low just outside the restricted zone. He'll go to the line for 2 free throws, and has another Cardinal personal. That one is on Ben Hendricks, his second, team 6. So we'll take a break here. On the other side, 2 free throws for Eastern Michigan. 51-47, 11:41 to go. Ball State with the lead. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Whether you're getting ready for the big game or getting ready for the workday, you always want to start with confidence. Cintas has the essential products and services to help businesses provide a clean, safe environment for their employees and customers. With routine restocking of essential cleaning, hygiene, and safety supplies, on-site cleaning, professional uniform laundering, and testing and inspection of fire equipment and systems. Give everyone the confidence they need to start their day. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
The Hampton Inn of Muncie is the official partner of Ball State Athletics. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. The Hampton Inn is one of Muncie's finest hotels. Come enjoy our free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and fresh Hampton beds waiting for you. Less than a mile away from Ball State campus. Don't forget to ask about our Ball State special. Search Hampton Inn of Muncie online at munciesuites.hamptonin.com. At munciesuites.hamptonin.com.
SportsLink is the official production partner of Ball State Athletics.
All the chirp you can handle.
Welcome back to Worthen Arena. The score 51-47. Ball State leads over Eastern Michigan with 11:41 to go. I'm Brayden Carroll, Dylan Budd alongside. So far, it has been sloppy here to start off the second half. 11 turnovers for Eastern, 9 for Ball State. Plenty of fouls as well. 6 for Ball State, 5 for Eastern Michigan. We could see both of these teams get into the bonus very quickly down the stretch. And for Ball State, although they're shooting pretty good in this one, 7 of 7 from the line, looking at the season as a whole, being forced to shoot free throws to decide the game is the last thing you want to do.
It's unideal for this Cardinals team that as the theme of the game they've been succeeding, but as the theme of the season has gone on, it's been a struggle. Against Southern Miss, Joey Hart was the one to sink a free throw to ice that game against the other Eagles in the Sun Belt Conference, but still not an ideal situation if you're Ball State. You might be in the bonus. There aren't really many fouls to give, so this is where you have to be smart with how aggressive you are. It's been a testament of how physical this team is throughout the year, but in a moment like this, you cannot lose your head and you have to be smart.
4-point lead for Ball State over Eastern Michigan. Looking elsewhere in the conference, Northern Illinois leads over Buffalo 46-45. Bowling Green holds a 6-point advantage over Ohio in what could be a big upset. Akron leads by 9 over Western Michigan. Kent State 17-point lead over Central. And Miami of Ohio surging over Toledo by 16 points, 58-42. And if you haven't checked ESPN yet, do yourself a favor. Check out Ian Elmer's dunk over 3 Toledo Rockets. The kid is going to be on SportsCenter later tonight. I can assure you that. Out of the media timeout. 2 free throws for Eastern Michigan, a team that shoots at a 71% mark on the season, 7th in conference play. Not too bad, but not too stunning. Deshaun Nelson, the one at the line. He was 6 of 11 against Old Dominion, and he makes this first one. He's up to 8 points in this game.
Coming off a 22-point performance against Old Dominion, now finally reaching double digits is a little bit surprising, but he does so well when it's down late and when the moment needs him, that's when he shines the most.
For the Eagles, 22, Yusuf Jihad.
Make that 11 points for Deshaun Nelson, correction. Board up. Had it incorrect for a minute, now he's back. 51-49 the score, Ball State leads 11-35. Juanzi Gorosito straight away. 11:30 on the game clock, excuse me. Hernandez, Pearson Jr., now Britton Watts left wing. Tight defense from Tingler rather. Other end, Hernandez, left corner. Pearson straight away, 3 ball. No good, rebound Eastern Michigan. That one was in and out. Christian Henry across the timeline. 11 minutes to go. Ball State leads by 1 possession. Follows a Billingsley screen. Moving to the left side in the mid-range. Top of the key, Terry. Pearson Jr., step back, mid-range jumper over Mickey Pearson Jr., no problem. Jalen Terry is up to 12 points.
With so much time on the floor, it's a testament to how good Jalen Terry's stamina is, but he also only has 1 foul in this contest. So not only does he have such a high amount of energy, but he's also a very clean player.
51 all. Hernandez going for a tough shot in the mid-range. He's fouled on the way. Jalen Billingsley called with the contact. So 2 free throws. That's the 3rd by Jalen Billingsley.
Billingsley is another guy that's such a big contributor to this Eagles offense. With him having 3 fouls, it's a very similar situation to Jamari Hill. With such a close game, now it's tied. It's going to be really interesting to see how Stan Heath uses him down the stretch.
First free throw good for Jeremiah Hernandez. He earned his 1,000 points the hard way. The bulk of them coming from his time at Southern Indiana, where he was a All-Ohio Valley Conference first teamer. He makes the second free throw, and it's 53-51. Ball State again, a 1-possession lead with 10:23 to go. Other end, Eastern Michigan, Christian Henry, pass, Terry, left wing, 3-ball, swish. Terry calls his shot and makes it. He's got 15 points, the leading scorer.
Uncharacteristic of Hernandez to be off his assignment. He usually does very well as a grad student with a lot of experience. What a shock there.
Peyton Sparks, how do you do? Restricted zone jam. Hello, 13 points. And it's 55-54, the lead back in the hand of the Cardinals.
This is why Michael Lewis wanted him back. He brings such a shift of momentum every time he steps onto the floor with his pure power and athleticism.
Christian Henry spinning around, down low, Sparks rejects him. Out of bounds, off of the hands of Sparks. Either way, a tight defensive shutdown by the big man. Substitutions here for Eastern Michigan, getting ready for the baseline inbound. Jihad and Billingsley checking out. Shanu the second in, as well as one more who I lost in the haze. The pile of bodies down around the baseline. Believe it was Billingsley who just checked in despite the foul trouble. Terry, step over three, good on the far arc. He is on a roll, 18 points. 57-55. Eastern Michigan leads over Ball State. Hernandez, left wing. Moving in toward the baseline, rejected by the side of the backboard, and a foul on the rebound opportunity. We'll see who they call that one on. They're going to say it's on Shanu the second. And the board operator says it's actually 17 points for Jalen Terry. I feel like they missed a three because he just had 12 before he made two straight three-pointers. Now he has 17. I'm going to keep saying 18 and move from there. I'm a rebellious man, and I don't believe this board operator.
Nonetheless, great performance from Jalen Terry, leading scorer for the Eagles right now, and the third Eagle to have double-digit points. Great performance from a guy who just doesn't get off the floor because he has such great stamina, he has such great conditioning, but he has the athleticism at just 6 foot even to run with the best guys in the conference.
Both free throws good for Jeremiah Hernandez. After that first free throw, Juanzi Gorosito checked in for Ethan Britton Watts. 57 all, 9:13 to go. Eastern Michigan with the ball. Henry right wing, dishes, top of the key, Tingler. Feed down to Terry, now is Shanu the second. Correction, Nelson, down low, a jam by Shanu the second. He's got 4 points, doing dirty work for Eastern Michigan, giving the lead back to the Eagles with 8:52 to go.
He's the guy that does a lot of things that don't show up on the stat sheet. He sets a lot of great screens. He gets in the way for these Ball State defenders. There he was able to do the dirty work himself, like you said, and a nice job at that.
In the paint, Sparks fouled hard by John Shanu the second. That's his third personal. Another Eagle in foul trouble. So you have Nelson with 3, Billingsley with 3, and Shanu the second with 3.
It's time to have a conversation with the fouls with Billingsley, Nelson, and with Shanu. Outside the starting 5, there's only been 3 other players that have gotten playing time. Could we see somebody that's been riding the bench come in cold and try and maintain this lead that the Eagles have?
It's up to Coach Heath to decide if it's time to bring in some reserves or keep his main lineup out down the stretch. For now, Sparks makes the first free throw to get up to 14 points. Now for the second one. He's perfect from the line. He misses. And they may call a lane violation. They will on Eastern Michigan. So that free throw won't count. He stays perfect.
Would have been the first miss from any Cardinal all day from the charity stripe.
12 of 12. Sparks 4 of 4. And now 5 of 5. He's got 15 points. Ball State ties it up, 59 all, 8:37 to go. Christian Henry, the point, across the timeline. Right wing. Hernandez guarding. Almost lost the handles. Maintains his dribble. Shanu 2. The second rather, sets a screen over to Nelson, left corner. Leaves one for Henry, same spot, back to Nelson, out of bounds, a turnover. Ball State, an opportunity to take the lead.
Charlie Cardinal had been hyping the home side fans up, doing some stomps and some claps. Clearly it worked, because now it's Cardinal ball with a tie game and only 8 minutes left. Big time plays from even the mascot here at Worthen.
Hill, top of the key. Lost his handle, stolen by Tingler. Great feed to Terry, down the outlet pass, and a finish. Oh my goodness. Great work.
And that's the other side of the coin of having such a loud place of the Johnny Worthen Arena. It becomes such a frantic environment, and that could lead to mishaps from the home team too.
Pearson Jr. spinning around outside the restricted zone, blocked by Chanu the second. Other end, fast break. Henry thought about a three, leaves one for Nelson. Reverse layup. Eastern Michigan showing the talent, the speed down the stretch. And now they have the lead, 63-59, 2 possession. The biggest lead for Eastern all night, 17-15 to go. Hill in the left wing. Can Ball State respond? Gorcito, extra pass. Hernandez, far corner, swish! Right back at ya. Hernandez says it. 63-62, 7 to go. This is high-octane offense down the stretch.
It's plays like this that will keep the Cardinals in it. Making that extra pass, having an open look in the corner. Jeremiah Hernandez is a guy that can sink it in that clutch moment. Did so right there, and that's why the Cardinals are only down 1 now.
Christian Henry, mid-range pass. Terry, step over, thought about a three. Back to Henry, left corner.
Cardinals
left wing,
are flying around.
3 ball, Terry straight away, too short. Gorcito with the defensive rebound. Don't see him corralling boards often. But he gets the ball to Ball State. Now Hill, right wing, moving in, mid-range. Tough, lays the shoulder down, layup no good, rebound. Goes into the hands of Dylan Tingler, and Eastern Michigan has it across the timeline. Henry, bounce, pass off the shin, I believe, of Jamari Hill, and out of bounds. We'll have immediate timeout after a high-octane, speedy stretch. Eastern Michigan 4 of 5 from their last field goal attempts, and it's 63-62. Eagles up top, 6:11 to go. You're listening to SportsLink Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, pay-per-go toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
The best stories in Ball State sports, plus live broadcasts right in your timeline.
Follow us at BSU SportsLink.
Welcome back to Worthen Arena. Eastern Michigan has the lead, 63-62 over Ball State with 6:11 to go in the game. I'm Brayden Carroll, Dylan Budd alongside. This has been a Jalen Terry type night. The kid is flat out playing. 19 points, 3 of 8 from beyond the arc, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 33 minutes on the floor. He has been the difference for Eastern.
He averages 14.6 points a game this year, coming off an 18-point performance against Old Dominion, has 19 now with 6 minutes left, and is a guy that might get a lot more opportunities in such clutch situations. But if you're the Eagles, this is exactly where you want the Cardinals. The momentum is on your side. You have a lead, a narrow one, yes, but a lead nonetheless. It's something you can take advantage, and the last few possessions have been very quick. It's led both teams to have a lot of errors and a lot of turnovers, but generally in this playing style, the Eagles come out on top. Perfect timing for the Cardinals to have a media timeout, but the Eagles can keep this momentum going and potentially sneak out of here with a win. No matter what, it's going to be a close one and a very exciting 6 minutes and 11 seconds ahead of us, Brayden.
And for Ball State, it's the three-headed monster, Hill, Sparks, and Hernandez, combining for 43 points, and get this, a perfect 13 of 13 from the charity stripe between the three. And they're the only Ball State Cardinals who have even attempted free throws tonight. A big difference for Ball State has been their performances. And man, oh man, is it going to be enough for the Cardinals to walk out of their own gym with a victory?
A lot of touches from those three guys that you had talked about. The biggest thing for Ball State is that they have to continue to rely on their stars. Mickey Pearson, Peyton Sparks, Jamari Hill. The final one from there might be a little bit interesting with his 3 fouls right now, but he's back in and getting time on the floor once more.
Eastern Michigan out of the media timeout. Jalen Terry leaves a pass for Billingsley down low. That one's intercepted by Peyton Sparks. Into the hands of Ball State. Hernandez across the timeline. Under 6 to go. Crunch time. Every possession matters. Pearson Jr., far arc. Feed to Hill between the rings over to Brayden Watts. Thought about a 3 before he could take it. A whistle. And a foul by Ball State off ball. They're going to call that one on Jeremiah Hernandez, his first personal. And a crucial one. Not only a personal that sends Eastern Michigan into the bonus after this foul, but also it ends up a turnover.
It looked like an illegal screen for Hernandez. Certainly a close one, but obviously Eagles ball.
Jalen Terry across the timeline for the Eagles. Effectively a free possession here, a chance to extend their 1-point lead. Tingler deep in the right wing. Pass to Nelson. Over to Terry, straight away. Now Henry with it. Left wing. Feed, Terry. Moving in. Tough layup, opposite side. Putback attempt, no good. Another offensive board by Nelson, who tried to get that putback, and he can't finish. Hill ends up with it for Ball State. Other end, Brayden Watts, open lane. Layup off the glass and good. The underhand cup, scoop. No problem. 64-63, 7 points for Brayden Watts in the lead for Ball State with 5 to go.
Smart play by EBW to settle for a layup rather than the dunk. It looked like Billingsley was ready to block that dunk if Brayden Watts had gone high. This time, able to just tap it off the glass and still 2 points nonetheless.
And a timeout taken by Eastern Michigan. Both teams have 2 left. The foul count, Eastern's up to 8, Ball State is up to 7. Both teams into the bonus. It's going to be tight down the stretch, and it's going to come down to one factor. Can Ball State continue to make their free throws, especially considering only 3 guys have taken free throws so far? Maybe if you're Eastern Michigan and it comes down to something like you have to foul somebody, you don't pick those 3. You don't pick Sparks, which is rare. You don't pick Hernandez. You don't pick Hill. You pick somebody else who hasn't gone to the stripe yet.
The problem is all 5 of these players are pretty well versed at the charity stripe. We've seen shots from Hill, MPJ, and Peyton Sparks. Hill and Sparks are the worst out of that collection on free throw percentage. Mickey Pearson Jr. is 7th in the MAC on free throw percentage. Ethan Brayden Watts shoots 83.3 from the charity stripe. Wansi Gorosito is only at 73%, but he's considered the best shooter alone on this Cardinal offense. Those are the 5 starters out there right now. You could target Jeremiah Hernandez. He's at 72.1, but he's shot very well as well. He's 4 for 4 from the line today.
And Eastern Michigan, give them credit for one thing. They have won the rebounding game. Surprisingly, 23 rebounds to Ball State's 20. They have 16 defensive rebounds. This is coming from a team that is 333rd in college basketball in defensive rebounds a game and 323rd overall in rebounds, period, offensive or defensive. They've stepped up big time against a team that has a height advantage on them, considering Peyton Sparks is just a unit down low, especially as of late. They've been able to win the glass. It's just been finishing that they've struggled with.
Absolutely. You talked about the height advantage of a lot of these big men from Ball State. You would think that there would be a lot more difficulty for the Eagles to bring some stuff down with the towering 6'10" Peyton Sparks, 6'10" Ben Hendricks, Mason Jones is 6'7", Mickey Pearson Jr. is 6'8". All of those guys are generally seen down low, battling for those rebounds, but it's been guys on the Eagles that have ended up coming up with the ball. And it's paid dividends in this game. A lot of new opportunities for this Eagles team that has been able to capitalize on it. A lot of guys like John Chanu II at 6'11" has able to bring some in too. Even some action from the guards and the forwards. So great performance on the glass for Eastern Michigan, and it's certainly paid dividends down the stretch.
Looking at some other scores in the MAC, I just want to talk about this one because this is incredible. High scoring between Akron and Western Michigan, 91-81 the score. I mean, that's a phenomenal game going on in Akron. The Zips fighting to retain their undefeated MAC record, and it shows in their offensive performance. 91 points.
It's substantial in any MAC matchup. 91 is a ludicrous number in college basketball, no matter the conference. The fact that they're able to just casually do it on a Tuesday night against a Western Michigan team that is better than their 4-6 record would tell you, just goes to show how impressive they go about a winning culture in their program.
The stacked MAC, everybody's fighting tonight. Eastern Michigan fighting to take the lead back with possession. Terry, left wing three, they get it. He's got 22 points. Phenomenal performance from Jalen Terry, and it's 66-64 with 4:20 to go. Ball State with possession. Britton Watts feed to Mickey Pearson Jr. over to Hernandez left wing, right wing rather. Guarded closely by Nelson. Bounce pass. Pearson Jr. far elbow. Moving in. Restricted zone. Layup blocked by Chanu II. Fight for the rebound. A foul on Eastern Michigan. Peyton Sparks went for it and took an arm to the head from Chanu II. That's his fourth personal. And another opportunity for free throws for Peyton Sparks. He's 5 of 5 tonight. He's 11 of 11 between this game and the last against Southern Miss.
All of these free throws have come in lower stake environments, many of them when Ball State has the lead. This will be one of the first opportunities where Ball State is down and is at the line. Higher stakes on these shots here from Sparks. Let's see if he can cash them in.
And he makes the first. He's up to 16 points. He has just been phenomenal in this one. Despite not getting his usual rebound numbers, I'm surprised to find he has 3 rebounds in this one. Very low considering what we have seen as of late from number 5. And he misses the free throw.
That'll be the first miss from any Cardinal tonight. But back to rebounding, he averages 8 a game, which is first in the conference right now. He's also the 10th person in Ball State program history to have 1,000 points, as we saw just around Christmas, and 700 rebounds to his name. That's an impressive stat for anyone to boast.
66-65, Eastern Michigan leads. A foul down in the restricted zone on Ball State. That's on Mickey Pearson Jr., his 3rd personal. And it'll be a free throw trip for Eastern Michigan after this media timeout, the final of the game. We'll take a break as well. 3:47 to go. Eastern Michigan leads 66-65 with the opportunity to add on to their advantage. You're listening to Sports Link Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
So just how big is the Mammoth Pizza at Mancino's? How about a big 24-inch round pizza loaded with all of your favorite toppings? Made to order just for you when you call 287-1300. The perfect size for the big game, the next game, or any event that demands not only the best, but the biggest pizza you can order. And Mancino's is ready anytime. Call, wait 10 to 15 minutes, then head to Mancino's for pickup. Man, is it good. When a large pizza isn't enough, you need at least one Mammoth from Mancino's.
Pepsi Zero Sugar has a new, better flavor. A Zero Sugar Cola has never tasted this good. But we don't expect you to take our word for it, so we're putting it to the test. Starting with me. My mouth is watering already, so I think we can skip the drum roll and get right to the main event. Cue the fireworks. We have an official best Zero Sugar ever. It's delicious, it's refreshing, and it's so good you'll need to try it for yourself. Trust me. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero never tasted so good. That's what I like.
Standards. High standards. That's what sets teams apart. It's also what sets us apart at Pridemark Construction. We're not alone in holding our standards high. Ball State University is among those who do. That's why we're proud to sponsor the Ball State Athlete of the Week. High standards in everyday performance is everything in sport, as well as business. Join us in our pursuit of excellence. Join Pride Mark Construction for your next building project, and in our support of Ball State University's Athlete of the Week.
Indiana's top sports media school in 2024 by the Indiana Association of School Broadcasters.
This is Ball State Sports Link.
Welcome back to Worthen Arena. Eastern Michigan leads 66-65 with free throws on the way, 3:47 to go. I'm Brayden, Carroll, Dylan Budd alongside as we get ready for these teams to head to their free throw formations. Looking at some max scores, Miami of Ohio, they lead 82-65 over Toledo. Kent State leads by 16. I was about to say 6, it's actually, no, it is 6, my bad. 3:20 to go, they lead by 6 over Central Michigan. Akron leads 93-35 over Western Michigan with 3 to go. Ohio, they've taken the lead back over Bowling Green, 70-69 with 3:28 to go. And down the wire, Buffalo and Northern Illinois go at 69-67 with 31 seconds to go.
And we have to talk about how pivotal these games are, especially tonight. Whoever will win this game will be the 6th seed. Whoever loses this game could go as low as the 10 seed if Bowling Green pulls out a win tonight against Ohio. It seems unlikely now that Ohio has regained the lead, but again, as we've talked about before, anything can happen in action.
First free throw good by Deshaun Nelson. The second is as well. He's got 15 points. He's 7 away, by the way, from 1,000 career points of his own. 68-65, Eastern Michigan extending their lead with 3:47 to go, and now the Cardinals will play the let the ball roll game to save clock. Britton Watts at the Cardinal logo. Feeds to Hernandez left wing. Handoff back to Britton Watts. Over to Mickey Pearson Jr., top of the key. 20 on the shot clock. Hernandez right wing now. Sparks with the screen. Over to Hill. Baseline, reverse layup, no problem. Jamari Hill, he's got 17 points, and the lead is down to 1. 68-67, 3:20 to go.
We talked about that three-headed monster before. Hill has 17, Sparks now has 16. Jeremiah Hernandez has 13 of his own. I'm surprised Juanse Gorosito isn't out there, considering the team was down 3. A three-pointer beyond the arc would be really pivotal right now for this Cardinal offense.
And Deshaun Nelson almost lost possession. Instead, it's a foul on Ball State, a trip. They'll call it on Ethan Britton Watts, his second person, as another trip to the free throw line. A 1-and-1 opportunity for Eastern as the substitution happens as well for the Eagles. Dylan Tingler subbing in for Arneo Soynick.
If there were only a couple fouls by each team, if this was early in the half, it wouldn't be that pivotal. But with Deshaun Nelson now going to the line for something like that, it's understandable why Michael Lewis is so frustrated.
He makes the first free throw. He's got 16 points. 2-point game, 3:07 to go.
There's been a three-headed monster as well here for the Eagles with Jason Terry at 22, Deshaun Nelson now at 17, I believe, and Christian Henry at 12. 3 of their stars in double digits as well tonight.
Hernandez across the timeline for Ball State. 70-67, 2:56 to go. Eagles lead. Charity stripe, Pearson Jr., hesitation, left wing, foul on the way. They won't call it in the air. Instead, it will be a double bonus, 2 free throw chance for Mickey Pearson Jr. He hesitated at the wing, moved in for a mid-range jumper, hit it, but foul on the floor. 2 free throws instead. That one is going to be called on Deshaun Nelson. 4 fouls for the Star.
One more, and he's out of here.
Jalen Billingsley at the scorer's table getting ready to sub in as Pearson Jr. hits the first free throw. That's his first point of the second half. And there's the substitution. Actually, it's going to be Chanu the second subbing in. Deshaun Nelson with 4 fouls will stay in the game. Coach Heath putting all of his chips into these final 3 minutes. Second free throw, good as well. He's up to 8 points, and it's 70-90. Eastern Michigan still leads, though, with possession, 2:45 to go. Christian Henry left wing. Pass. Nelson. Down low. Pass stolen. Great effort by Hernandez to get the ball out to Hill before he fell out of bounds. Ball State now on the offensive end. Sparks to Hill, to Hernandez straight away. Moving in on the baseline. Tough shot, and one! Jeremiah Hernandez. Strut around, kid. Oh my goodness, that's a big one. Take the lead, a chance for the and one. And oh man, what a day he's having. 1,000 career points and a big time play. Wow.
He had a steal on the far end, able to get the shot and one on this end near us. 1,000 points. That echelon was achieved today. Great day from him all around. It's going to be one that he remembers.
And if he makes this, by the way, which he does, that's his season high. 16 points, beating his 15 points against Central Michigan. And Worthen's getting loud. 72-70, 2:20 to go. It's crunch time for Eastern Michigan. Oh man, what a momentum swing that was by Jeremiah Hernandez. Christian Henry left wing. Hands off to Terry, same spot. Brayden Watts guarding closely, a screen by Nelson. Terry moves in toward the baseline, gets the layup. Wow, moving through Sparks and Brayden Watts. Brayden Watts smacks the basketball in fury. He can't believe they gave it up. That's 24 points for Terry. 72 all. 75 seconds to go. Hill. He's stolen away. And a foul in transition. Terry fouled by Jeremiah Hernandez. He's putting his hands up as if to say, no way, but that was a foul and a half.
It's Hernandez's second of the contest, so he doesn't have to worry too much about foul trouble just yet. But something to be noted about Jalen Terry, with his 24 points, that means he has a third alone of the Eagles' total points today so far.
And we talked about earlier, as both teams were nearing the bonus, that maybe it would be a factor down the stretch. Well, here we are with both teams at 10 fouls, both teams in the double bonus. So out of this timeout taken by Ball State, it's going to be 2 free throws for Eastern Michigan. And it feels like that's what this game is going to come down to. Both teams shooting at a high mark, by the way, from the stripe.
There's been 26 total free throws, only 1 miss from each side. At some point, something's got to give. And in a matchup as close as this, it could be the free throws. The story of the season for Ball State has been not being able to capitalize on those free throws. This is where what Eastern Michigan could potentially take advantage of that grievance from the Cardinals.
70 seconds to go. Thank you for joining us here on SportsLink Digital, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. This has been a show put together by both of these teams. Great effort here and around the conference. I mean, look at these scores, Dylan. 92-80, Miami of Ohio over Toledo. That looks like it's going to be the final score, if maybe not a few more baskets with 32 seconds left. 91-83, Kent State over Central, 28 to go. 102-92 with a minute to go, Akron over Western. 79-74, Ohio, of course, putting up a big comeback in that one. Looks like they're going to win. Buffalo winning 73-67 over Northern Illinois. I mean, talk about a high-scoring night in the Mid-American Conference with teams fighting to get wins. This is a big night in the conference with how many teams that are 4-6, with number 2 and number 3 playing in Miami and Toledo. You can tell that everybody's bringing their A game.
And this is where the term Maction has been coined, right, Brayden? Big time moments like this, there's a lot of high offense, there's a lot of high energy, not just here in Worthen Arena, but everywhere in the Mid-American Conference. This is a random Tuesday night for most schools in NCAA athletics. For MAC basketball, it is a big night with big implications across the board.
Free throws here for Jalen Terry, a 90% free throw shooter, the second best mark on the team. But he's facing the Ball State student section and he misses. Substitution for Eastern. Shanu the second checks in for Jihad. One thing to note, Deshaun Nelson with 4 fouls still in the game. 72 all. He's got to make this free throw to give the Eagles the lead, and he does. Clutch. 25 points. 3 away from his season high of 28, which he got against Purdue, Fort Wayne, and IU Indy. It's 73-72. Eastern leads. 90 seconds to go. Ball State with the basketball. Brayden Watts at the Cardinal logo. Pearson Jr., now Hill left wing. Follows a spark screen. Pearson Jr. opposite end, moving toward the restricted zone. He finishes. 74-73. Other end, Eastern Michigan moving fast. Jalen Terry signals for the play. Brayden Watts guarding closely, deep in the perimeter. A screen by Nelson. A deep 3 by Terry. No good. That was not the shot to take. Hill with the rebound, and what a mistake. With the lead and the ball, Ball State. Sparks, Hernandez, top of the key. And a timeout by Coach Lewis. Maybe a chance to talk to his team and say, they just gave us a gimme. Unbelievable. Why would you take that shot, Terry?
Because Terry has been the hot hand all game. He's the one that wants that opportunity to succeed for his team because he's been doing it all game.
But you're down 1.
It's a reasonable thought. I don't know why you would shoot it from that deep when you had a lot of time on the shot clock.
Exactly.
But from a mentality of the Eagles, he had been shooting very well all game. From the field, he's been 10 for 17 or 10 for 16 before the shot. So not a bad performance by him at all. Obviously, he leads the team in scoring with 25, but again, like you said, that's not the shot. There's still a little less than a minute left, and there's a chance for Eastern Michigan to come back and get this ball back and still score. Anything can happen, but your chances just went significantly lower because of that mistake by Jalen Terry.
Just a tough moment for this Eastern Michigan team. You can hardly blame him for having the confidence, but you gotta know the situational. You just gotta know not in that situation to take a deep 3 with time on the shot clock. Ball State, either way, they have possession with a 1-point lead. Clock rolling, 13 on the shot clock, 44 on the game. Hill lost his handles, out of bounds, it's off of him, and it's Eastern Michigan basketball. Are you kidding me? A miscue by Eastern Michigan, maybe an even worse one by Ball State, and Hill, hands on his hips, is beside himself.
The only word to describe this ending right now, Brayden, is bonkers. There's no way so many pivotal, substantial mistakes have been made on both sides.
40 seconds, 74-73, Ball State leads. A big defensive stop is required for victory. Christian Henry left wing. Feed, Nelson back to Henry, moving in toward the zone, tough over Sparks, yes sir! Oh my goodness, what a bucket down low. He's up to 14 points. 22 seconds, shot clock off. Brayden Watts moving. Almost lost control of the ball, stuck on a pivot foot. Ball's on the ground. Pearson has it. Jump ball. Possession arrow faces Ball State, so they will keep possession, but oh my goodness, that puts you in a tough spot. 13 seconds left. Possession arrow now points the opposite way, so you can't turn it over and you can't let another jump ball happen. A timeout here to rally the troops for Coach Lewis.
Credit to Mickey Pearson for being able to jump on that ball and save it and keep it in Ball State's possession. Fortunate that the jump ball went Ball State's way there, because it would be game over if that wasn't the case. Now this is a chance to get one more shot in, and you have to go to one of these guys that's been scoring all game. Somebody like Jamari Hill or Peyton Sparks or even Jeremiah Hernandez. Mickey Pearson is now in double digits as well. So this is going to be a really important shot. What are we going to see from Michael Lewis on a play as substantial as this?
I don't know. I mean, the thing is, this team, man, the history, I hate to mention it, but the history of this team in clutch moments has been that of failure. Can they finally get that moment that rallies Worthen Arena to say, oh my gosh, we did it at the last second? I mean, I remember Miami of Ohio, a game that should have never gone to overtime, a defensive assignment that went wrong, a buzzer beater by the Redhawks. They win in OT last season. Western Michigan, everybody knows the deep outlet pass over the head of everybody at the buzzer, a finish for the Broncos. this season. They haven't been able to finish close games, but hey, Southern Miss, they did it. A 1-point victory over the Golden Eagles last week. Maybe now they can do it in Mid-American Conference play, overcome the 4-6 heap of teams, and maybe they can just stamp that ticket to the MAC tournament.
There's a saying that says, quiet offense at work. You'll see it a lot of times in football games. I don't understand why you're hyping the crowd up in Worthen right now.
And a timeout, a little bit of cat and mouse play between the coaches. This one's taken by Coach Lewis. Last one was by Coach Heath. That's the final timeout for Ball State, so likely going to be the last one before we have the final play. 12.9 seconds to go. Eastern Michigan leads 75-74. And one thing to note for Ball State, if you want some confidence, Peyton Sparks is 5 of 6 from the field in his last 6 shots. Hernandez, he's 4 of 5 in his last 5. Both of those will be on the court. And Ball State as a whole, they're 4 of 5 in their last 5 as well. So if you want a little bit of confidence heading into this maybe final possession for Ball State, there you go.
You could absolutely give it to one of those star players that has been so high scoring, because even if they don't make the shot, you could run the risk of them getting a foul drawn on them and them taking a trip to the line. It'll be some of the most important free throws they'll ever take in their career, but in a situation like this, it's what has to be done. 12.9 seconds left. You need something. You don't really want to go overtime because of the late struggles like you said, but Ball State is a team that when the margin is 4 points or lower, they have 4 wins. Eastern Michigan, with the same stat, they have 6 wins. No matter what, very close down the stretch to a very fun game we've gotten the honor to call.
Boy, I bet those guys on the ESPN Plus call are having a whale of a time as well. AJ Switek, Xander Woods, fellow SportsLink students, I bet they're having some fun too. We're having fun up here in the corner. SL Digital, what a show, what a game. Here we go, inbound, far side baseline. It's Britton Watts, passes in to Sparks, a foul on Shanu the second. Oh my goodness, what a mistake by Eastern Michigan.
And now that you're in the bonus, this is what we talked about. Peyton Sparks will be the one that goes to the line with a chance to not only tie, but win.
Wow. Unbelievable foul to give. I mean, it's unnecessary. There's no way Sparks is getting a shot immediately up out of the inbound pass. You don't need to foul hard. All of the Eagles players walking to the bench, looking up to the board, demanding to see something. In fact, Coach Heath is pointing up to it, asking the official, can you show something on the board? That was from the last play. They want to see a replay, but they won't. It will remain a foul. And Peyton Sparks, who's been electric from the line today, 6 of 7, will be maybe the decider between win-loss and overtime. There's 3 ways this baby can go down right now, and it's in the hands of big number 5. Eastern Michigan took a timeout, maybe just a chance to ice the free throw shooter in a way. Man, this is electric. But it's quiet here in Worthen. Everybody with fearful anticipation, because if you know the season, you know that asking Ball State to make free throws down the stretch to win games is a no-go.
And Michael Lewis does a great job of improving woes that the team has had throughout the season. 3 free throws has been one of them, and they've done a great job of doing so today. Another issue has been struggles as of late in the game, trying to close the show. And they have a chance to do that here and fix that issue as well. Not necessarily fix, but finally be on the right side of a situation like that.
The music's loud in Worthen, but the crowd is so quiet. There's just this feeling of discomfort, knowing that inevitably these free throws will decide the course of the game from here on out.
And the course of the seeding for Ball State in a potential MAC tourney appearance.
I mean, with what we've said, let's remember what else has gone on in the MAC tonight. Western Michigan loses. Bowling Green loses. Kent State wins. You gotta win this game now. If you want to be up there with Kent State, and if you're Ball State, if you want to hold that 6th spot, you gotta win. You gotta win. You gotta win. And here we go. Peyton Sparks to shoot maybe 2 of the biggest free throws of his career. His illustrious career. Substitution for Eastern. Dylan Tingler to check in.
Ethan Britton Watts wants an explanation from the official now. It looked like he had some frustration with Dylan Tingler coming in.
2 shots for Brayden.
Here we go. The ball in the game in the hands of Peyton Sparks. First free throw. Strong. Here we go. This one's either going to overtime or it's going to be in the hands of Eastern Michigan. My goodness. You could hear a piece of barley drop into a pile of wheat. He got it. He rattled it in.
Timeout, Eastern.
A brief moment of relaxation, maybe a little bit of celebration, but then we're right back to the fact there's 12.9 seconds on the clock, and Eastern Michigan has an opportunity to win. Last Eastern timeout also. No more timeouts for either team.
Now the question is, who is going to get the ball in their hands for a situation of this magnitude? Do you give it to someone like Jalen Terry, who leads the team in scoring, but he had that late miscue late in the game? Do you give it to someone like Deshaun Nelson, who's had a great game in his right, but he also has 4 fouls, and if this goes to overtime, could run the risk of being out of the game for those pivotal minutes? Who do you give it to if you are Coach Stan Heath? The answer, no one knows.
This is tough, man. This is where, in the coaching world, the men are separated from the boys. What can you draw up to win a game? Will it be an Eastern Michigan miracle or overtime in Worthen Arena? Here we go, inbound Eastern as the clock starts. 11 seconds and rolling. Henry, left wing. Hill guarding. 7 seconds. Henry, 5, moves in, step back, mid-range jumper, too strong. We're going to overtime in Worthen Arena. 75 all. Hello, an extra 5 minutes. How do you do?
Unable to get the shot from Christian Henry. He does so well at creating space in a moment's notice. He had the look there for the jump shot. Great defense from Jamari Hill, but on a shot like that, there's not much that Henry can do. Unable to bring it home, and then Osweinik wasn't able to put that ball back up when he got the offensive rebound because of defenders in his face. Now we go to overtime at 75-75 in such a pivotal game where not only the game is on the line now, but the season for both of these teams, both of these programs is on the line.
What a game. What a game. Everyone from the MAC tuning in. This is officially the last game of the night, still going in the Mid-American Conference. Let's look at some extra scores while we're at it. We didn't know if we'd make it to this, but we ended up making it. Indiana Michigan State has indeed tipped off while we're still on the air. The Spartans lead 10-6 over the Hoosiers. Indiana State, they're down 10 against Northern Iowa in a very important conference matchup against the 16-9 Panthers. And Michigan pulls off the upset over Purdue, 75-73 against the Boilermakers, despite 24 points from Brayden Smith.
You had said, I believe, Kent State was playing Central Michigan. How did that outcome go?
That one ended 91-83 in favor of Kent State.
Okay.
Kids writing notes, everybody.
Absolutely. Right now we're just taking a look at what would happen if either team was to win, either team was to lose. So the winner, no matter what, will get the 6th seed, and if the season ended tonight, would have a spot in the MAC tournament. A whole lot of games left, but still a great spot to be in. The loser, if you are Ball State has the tiebreaker over Central Michigan, does not over Western Michigan. Because of that, they would be put in the 8th seed. If Eastern Michigan loses, they would be 4-7 as well. Eastern Michigan does not have the tiebreaker against Central or Western Michigan. Meaning, if Eastern Michigan lost, they would be put at the 9 seed. Ball State could go from the 6th to the 8th. EMU could go from the 7th to the 6th or the 9th, depending on these 5 minutes underway.
And the overtime to decide it all has begun. Ball State with possession, Sparks winning the jump. Hill left wing, 75 all. Jeremiah Hernandez, step back, right wing. Moving in at the mid-range, along the baseline, 5 on the shot clock, spin around, fadeaway jumper, no good. Hill with the rebound and the putback, hovering in the air. He's got 19 points, and the Cards take the first lead of OT, 77-75. 4:20 to go. Terry, the man of the night for Eastern Michigan, left wing. Pass down low, Nelson. Over the head feed, hesitation. Wabude finishing. How about that? 77 all. The first points by God's love, Wabude.
If this period is any implication, just in this minute alone, these two teams are going to go back and forth, and it once again could go down to a last possession.
Hernandez at the Cardinal logo. 3:50 to go. Already a minute has passed in this overtime. Spinning around Osoynik, and he's fouled on the way. So 2 free throws for Jeremiah Hernandez. They're going to call that one on Osoynik. That's going to be his second personal. Hernandez on the night, a perfect 5 of 5 from the charity stripe.
2 shots. Jeremiah.
Everybody just looks tired out there. Gear 2 breathing. Gear 3, rather, if you know what that means. Nothing but mouth breathing for Hernandez, but he makes the first free throw. 17 points in a career night. Subbing in for Eastern Michigan, Billingsley checking in for Wabude. Deep breath, a dribble, and a made free throw. 2 of 2 trip for Hernandez. He's 7 of 7 tonight from the line, and it's 79-77. Ball State up with 3:43 to go.
Clutch free throws from Hernandez. Now you've got a 2-point lead. Still narrow, but substantial right now.
Henry for the Eagles. Now Terry, left side, mid-range jumper. No good. Fight for the offensive board, tipped out of bounds by Jalen Terry. I mean, he just swatted it to the scorer's table, hoping anybody would touch it before it sailed. That's a big defensive stop for the Cardinals. Substitutions for Eastern Michigan. God's love, Wabude is back in, as well as Tingler. They come in for Osoynik and Billingsley.
I like the idea to get the ball out of that cluster where you have so many players in one general space, but miscue there, but pretty much a free possession for Ball State here.
Brayden Sparks straight away, now Pearson Jr., same spot. 3:14 to go, a whistle off ball and a foul by Deshaun Nelson. He's fouled out and is hanging on to the back of his head. I hope he's okay. He is fouled out.
That is his 5th.
As we effectively have an injury timeout here. We'll take a break from Worthen Arena. 79-77, 3:13 to go in this overtime period.
American Pest Pros is the official pest control partner of Ball State Athletics. We protect your home or business and guarantee year-round protection from insects and pests. Ask about our Ball State special, available to all Cardinal fans. Our pest control program is the safest and most effective in the industry. Even if you tried a different service and it didn't work, we'll fix your problem, guaranteed, or your money back. Visit AmericanPestPros.com. That's AmericanPestPros.com. And don't forget to ask about our Ball State special.
Ball State fans, who needs batteries? Your locally owned Battery Masters have batteries for cars, boats, golf carts, cell phones, watches, key fobs, pay-per-go toys for kids, and more. Bring your rechargeable batteries back to life for drills, shavers, dustbusters, and more. All Ball State fans receive a free battery checkup. Just mention Charlie Cardinal. Battery Masters is conveniently located on the corner of Walnut and Centennial, next to Mini Trista. Check us out online at batterymasters.com. Go Cards!
Welcome back to Worthen. Deshaun Nelson hurt on the play, fouled out as well. He goes to the locker room under his own power. Hopefully he's okay. For now, 79-77 is the score. Ball State with the lead, 3:13 to go. They have the ball as well. I'm Brayden Carroll, Dylan Budd alongside. And Dylan, we didn't get to talk about this, but what do you think is the difference here in the overtime period for both teams that could get them to win?
For Ball State, it's really just the high-end talent. We've seen points from Jamari Hill and Jeremiah Hernandez. Leaning on your stars is going to be the way to go for Ball State, as long as they can maintain pace with this high-speed Eagles offense. As for the Eagles, it's just that. They've done a great job all game of being able to maintain pace, and at times it's forced errors from the Cardinal side and given the Eagles the advantage. Now, with Deshaun Nelson out, obviously we hope he's okay, but now somebody's going to come in for him with less experience than the star power that Nelson has, and you have to hope for the Eagles that they don't come in cold and that they can still contribute and fill in that role that Nelson has been in so well for this offense.
Officials circled at the center of the court discussing some matter as the officials head to both coaches. I don't know what could be the topic of discussion here.
Looks like Deshaun Nelson is back out. Good to see him out there.
They may end up calling this. I don't know if they're thinking of changing the call, maybe adding a technical foul. It was some very contentious contact between he and Brayden Watts. We'll see what the decision is, as they've gone over to the ESPN announcers as well to discuss the terms. So we will see the results here. Of course, we don't have any word of what happened, so we have to play more reactionary than we would like.
Some of our fellow sports linkers, Xander Woods, AJ Switek, Dom Liakani, listening on, waiting for the call like the rest of us here in Worthen Arena that has so many implications lined up beside it.
Officials now talking with the Ball State huddle, making it clear what the situation is. It looks like some type of technical foul has been addressed and given to Eastern Michigan. We know that for one. Brayden Watts stands alone at the charity stripe to take technical free throws, I'm assuming two. That appeared to be the signal from the official. Misses the first. That's a freebie to no avail.
So it appears the foul will still be on Deshaun Nelson, which will still be his fifth, meaning he is still out.
Now for the second free throw. He hits that one, no problem. 8 points and a 80-77 lead. Now let's see if anything happens on the Eastern Michigan side. So here's the call, 2 flagrant fouls for both players. both Deshaun Nelson and Bryn Watts. So 2 free throws as well for Eastern Michigan. They'll have Osoynik, their high free throw percentage shooting player, take it. He's at 91% on the season, and he makes the first. Now for the second. This is where you can get a free advantage if you can make both. And he does. So with that, what at the break was a 2-point lead for Ball State turns into a 1-point lead. And the possession belongs to Eastern Michigan as well. Jalen Terry will take it across the timeline. Britton Watts guarding close. Surely a feeling of dissatisfaction for that call for Britton Watts. Terry straight away. Dribble move out to Henry. Left wing. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Pass over Billingsley. Handoff. Henry. Left wing. 5 seconds. Tough three. He's fouled on the way. He'll get 3 free throws. They'll call that one on Ethan Britton Watts. And man, he's had a tough stretch in the last minute.
A missed crucial free throw just a few minutes ago, or a few moments ago, and that's his 4th foul now. Now he's in severe foul trouble. I wonder if we'll see a guard come in like Wansi Gorosito, or maybe they try and get a little bit taller on their starting 5, bring in somebody like Mason Jones or Ben Hendricks. Joey Hart is a name that's in that mix as well. He's starting to get much more significant minutes, and he was the one that made the icing free throw against Southern Miss. He's had 26 points in his last 5. Before that, he only had 24 on the year combined, so he's starting to get more time, potentially a name to watch for.
Christian Henry, a 67% free throw shooter. Facing the student section, makes the first. He's up to 15 points. Averaging 0.1 under 15 a game. 2 players ready to sub in for Eastern Michigan. Appears to be Tingler. That second free throw, no good. It will be Tingler and Godslov Wabude. They're the ones to sub in. 80-80. This is a big free throw with 2:46 left in this overtime. And he makes it. He's up to 16 points, and it's 81-80. Eastern Michigan leads. Britton Watts across the timeline at the Cardinal logo. Sparks sets a screen in the perimeter. Pass, Mickey Pearson Jr. Straight away. Over to Hill, left wing. Back to Pearson Jr., same spot as he was. Bounce pass Hernandez. Down low, Sparks will take one. Restricted zone. Hesitation. Tough shot off the side of the backboard, but he's fouled. He'll go to the line for 2 free throws. 7 of 9 so far in this game. Let's see if he can continue his strong night. Free throws really matter, especially when you're down.
2 shots for Peyton.
He's already taken 2 of the biggest free throws of his career. Maybe this feels a little more calmer given the situation. It's a lot less dire, but still quite serious. And he makes the first. 18 points. He has 31 between his last 2 games. Substitutions for Eastern. Jalen Billingsley, he'll check in for Godslov Nawabude. Jihad also checks in. Second free throw, no problem. 19 points for Peyton Sparks and the lead. 82-81 for Ball State. 2:18 to go. Henry, left wing, Hill guarding. Follows a Billingsley screen, some space at the mid-range, spins around at the MAC logo in the paint. Out to Osoynik. Now Henry straight away. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Another Billingsley screen. Another pick and roll. Spin around, Sparks in the finish. How do you do, Christian Henry? 18 points, and it's the lead for Eastern again. 83-82 with 1:52.
Early on, we talked about the well-roundedness of Christian Henry, and one of those things was an incredible layup package. It was on display there, being able to climb the mountain against Peyton Sparks. Well done.
Brayden Watts, left wing, over to Mickey Pearson, top of the key. Spin, lost his handle, stolen by Osoynik. Hernandez, tight defense, not enough to force a turnover. 90 seconds, the Eagles running the clock down a bit. Now some movement by Jalen Terry. Oh, Worthen wants a travel. They won't get one. Instead, it'll be a foul on a pass to Jalen Billingsley. They'll call that one on Jamari Hill. Hands on his head. He's frustrated. The team's tired. They've been fighting for 40 minutes and then some. And right now, they're down with 1:17 to go. And the game out of their hands and in the hands now of Jalen Billingsley, who can make this a 3-point game. But he can't. He misses the first free throw. Do you think this is the right time to call for tater tots?
You know, I think it's a late game situation, but it's just odd enough to where you could throw off Jalen Billingsley.
Yeah, you know what? That's true.
Every fan is screaming, miss that shot, don't go in. Not many fans in college basketball are yelling tater tots.
That's something for Sickos committee to enjoy. But he does make that last free throw. So it's 84-82. Ball State lets the ball roll to the half-court line. Brayden Watts takes it. Pearson Jr. left wing. Hill, same spot. Straight away, pass to Brayden Watts. Bounce past Hernandez, left corner. Now Watts again. Over to Hernandez. Moves in toward the baseline. Off his foot and off of him. Out of bounds. Eastern Michigan will have it. A collective from Worthen faithful. Off the foot and out of bounds. And Eastern Michigan has it with 1:03 and the lead, 84-82.
Looked like he had the ability to send it to Jamari Hill in the corner, but that going off his foot, obviously a little bit more difficult. Eagles ball.
Henry at the Cardinal logo, at the beak specifically. Left wing, Billingsley, another screen. He's been setting them all night. Mid-range jumper at the charity stripe, no good. Fight for the rebound in the hands of Pearson Jr. And a foul. Oh my goodness. What's the call here? Mickey Pearson Jr. hit hard in the head. And it's a foul on Eastern Michigan. They'll call that one on Yusuf Jihad, his first. Free throws for Ball State, 2. Down 2, 38 seconds.
The life of a Division I college athlete must be so rigorous. On your birthday, you're getting hit in the head in such a high-stakes game. Unfortunate.
But a victory would make it all be worth it. Needs both. He needs both to tie. First one, good. Mickey Pearson Jr. at 11 points. He's an 84% free throw shooter. He was 4 of 4 in the last game against Southern Miss. Well, he's 2 of 2 so far, and he can make it 3 of 3 with a game-tying free throw here. And he gets it. 12 points. And oh, baby, we're tied again. 84 all. 35 to go. Shot clock still a factor, but this will be the last possession with the red lights on.
Everyone in Worthen is on their feet right now.
Henry, pass to Terry, deep left wing. And a timeout, timely and smart by Coach Stan Heath. Time to think about it and construct the play to take the lead if you're Eastern Michigan. And for Coach Lewis, get the defensive plan sound, hold them, and give yourself an opportunity to win.
This is a situation that we saw before the first overtime. We saw the ball go to Christian Henry with 20.9 seconds left. Obviously, it's not going to be the last shot of the game. Ball State will have a chance, but do you give it to Henry again to get the opportunity to retake this lead? At this point for Stan Heath, it's just how much do you trust your guys? Do you give it back to your star Christian Henry? Now that Deshaun Nelson is out, that's a catastrophic loss in such a high situation. Do you give it to someone like Jalen Billingsley or even somebody like Yusuf Jihad? Any one of those 5 could get the ball in their hands. All of them have to be ready for it. It just depends on Stan Heath now. He has the resume to boot it in games like this. Can he do it once more?
Ball in the hands of the Eagles. Far side inbound to Jalen Billingsley. Top of the key. A pass out of the hands of Henry. No backcourt as it was tipped by Brayden Watts. 12 seconds, 11 seconds, moving inside. Shot clock low. He's blocked. He is blocked. And the ball will go to Ball State. Wow. Clutch defense by the Cardinals. 8 seconds, 8.8 to be exact. 84-84, a chance to win. You gotta take the ball across the timeline. Coach Lewis will probably call a timeout. And then the play. On the floor, Brayden Watts, Hill, Sparks, Hernandez, and Mickey Pearson Jr. Inbound safely into the hands of Hill. He gets across the timeline. No timeout by Coach Lewis. Down low, Hill. Oh my gosh! What a jam! Are you kidding me? Over the head of Noah Bume, and he misses the shot, and it's over. Ball State has won. Jamari Hill, get out of town. Are you kidding me?
It's a swarm in the middle of the court at Worthen Arena. The players surrounding Jamari Hill. What a way to close it out for these Cardinals. Getting rid of those late game woes, not doing it with a jump shot, doing it with a high ferocity dunk that we have seen from Jamari Hill all year. What an ending, what a night, what a game.
Well, an electric night in the Mid-American Conference is topped with one of the greatest finishes you'll ever see. Jamari Hill, a highlight dunk for the ages and a victory for Ball State. Wow, 21 points. He played his heart out. With 4 personal fouls, he couldn't do anything wrong down the stretch. And somehow he didn't do it. He didn't do a thing wrong.
This is a kid that 365 days ago, he was doing numbers like this at a junior college. Now here he is at a Division I program in a crucial moment where they need him most, and he capitalized exactly as he would capitalize. Amazing game from Jamari Hill, amazing finish from the team all around, and truly cinema here at the Johnny Worthen Arena.
Well, Dylan, any final thoughts before we let the good times roll?
Well, there's a whole lot of conference games left. Ball State will remain at the 6th spot like we talked about. Eastern Michigan will go to the 9th spot if my calculations are correct. Devastating loss for them. They'll have to rein it in for the rest of the season and hope the other Michigan teams start dropping some games as well. For Ball State, you have to continue to ride this momentum. You just beat Southern Miss in the Sun Belt Challenge. Now you've beaten an Eastern Michigan game where all of the things that you needed to improve upon, you improved upon. And they did very well in what normally are their woes. Who do they have next? I'm sorry? For the Cardinals?
They will have NIU next.
There we go. NIU next. NIU is in the bottom of the conference right now. Granted, it's a team that beat the Cardinals previously, but it's also a chance for the Cardinals to ride that momentum. And this is exactly where you want to be for Ball State. With the season on the line, they capitalized, and now they can continue to build off of
that. Well, an unbelievable finish to cap off an unbelievable night in the Mid-American Conference. Dylan Budd, it's been fun. What a show. What a game. And that'll do it here from Worthen Arena. The score, Ball State 86, Eastern Michigan 84 in an overtime thriller. Thank you for tuning in to SportsLink Digital Radio presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. We'll see you next time. And we'll see Jamari Hill's dunk on Sports Center Top 10 later tonight. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
This has been a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.